No, that wasn't that situation. No, I'm not on child support for my son at all. No, that was my ex-wife that did that to me when I moved
Uh
to a different state.
oh, okay, okay.
Yeah,
Okay. So that's why
yeah,
we were having the
Most
conversation
people,
yesterday. You were saying that after the next one, like that's it. That's like what, three strikes you out kind of deal.
right. Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Like I was
most
married.
people
I
are
had
not on
three.
child support
Hold on
though.
real quick. I was married. I
Okay.
had three kids, and you know what I'm saying. But when I moved to a different state, she got mad, and so that's what I'm saying. A lot of times when you're on child support, you don't even know it. I was taking care of my kids, seeing my kids and everything at our house, and she'd say shit because I was giving her money, and I didn't even know I was on child support until my job started garnishing my wages. I'm like, what the hell is this? And then
Yeah, that's how they get you.
that's how I found
Yeah,
out I was on child support.
that's great. Okay, I thought you just had that one,
No, I
the
got
the
four
the, the one
children.
that's with you.
I
You
got
got
four children.
four?
Yeah, my children are 25. I got children 25, 24, and 23 years old, and then my son. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Well,
okay, okay.
yeah,
Bet,
yeah,
bet. Yeah, I've never asked you. It's never been,
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
ain't that kind of person. So
yeah, yeah. No, it's cool. I got grown kids. But yo, Sharon, get in there. We'll say. Oh, trucker, did you speak yet?
Nah, y'all go ahead. My children is 27, 26, and 25, so I understand, dog.
You lying like a mug. Hey, you lying like a mug. Hey, go ahead. Where'd you have them when you was 10 years old, ninja? Hey, yo, go ahead, Sharon. What say you? Like, act like we don't know how old you are, trucker. Stop. Hey, yo, Sharon, what's up, man? What say you, bro?
I'm good. I'm just still trying to schedule everything up and fix everything on this other side. But interesting conversation. I enjoy when you are on the same paths. It's rare that it happens, but hey, what it does is a beautiful thing. And I think men need to just start being responsible for themselves and stop worrying about if a female will or can or whatever that is. I don't understand this ideology of you need a woman to force her to stay with you or force or give her a position where if she leaves you, she's going to be worse off than what she was when she was with you. That is insane. If you love the person, why would you want her to be worse off? Any woman that I was ever with, I want her to be at least maintain where she was at or move up higher. I want her the best for her because that was my shorty at one point. I don't want to be in destitute after I done found because I'm not going to be in destitute after we do whatever because you just gave me a beautiful option to move forward with my life. That is it. So this whole idea that we gotta make the government make women stay with men is insanity and is just selfish for any man to believe that the government need to help men to stay in a marriage. Agreed.
I don't know about from that perspective, but yeah, generally that's
yeah,
what I
that
would
was
say.
kind of
Yeah,
wild, bro.
I don't know from
Because
that end of
nigga,
perspective, though.
because they need help from the government to leave you. Like, what you talking about, bro? I say remove the safety net entirely. Like, just
Right. So
all of that.
that's the thing. What is considered a safety net?
I think, but listen, I do think,
He said it.
honestly speaking,
Let him answer it.
go ahead, Frizo, you got it.
I
What's
would
up,
I
man?
would consider child support to be a safety net,
So
What?
especially in a time where men and women overwhelmingly are working.
right.
No.
So you're saying that the person that has the child, they don't have no choice in taking care of that child, correct?
No, they have a choice.
They have a choice, yeah.
Yeah,
The person
technically they do.
They have a choice, yes. They have a choice, Sean.
Adoption, I guess.
No, but
You
listen,
could
a lot of time. Hold on,
you could
I
adopt. You
would
could
have
give it
took
to the father. There's
right. I would have
choices.
took my children. I would have took my children if their mother wasn't,
Is, but
my
that's what I was
ex-wife
saying.
wasn't
Okay,
against
You're
all
a
right.
adoption.
So
different
hold
type
on.
of
All right.
dude, bro.
So
That's
since
why
we
I
got to
said I
be
wasn't
very,
speaking
I
to
guess
you.
we got to be very specific because now we're trying to understand. We don't understand what I'm actually, right. So let's just act like we're having a conversation. The person that has the child, right? Normally, that person is going to take care of their child. Normally.
Correct.
Okay,
Yes.
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so let's act like let's have a conversation, right? So now the other person, they are not obligated, whether it's the man or the woman, are not obligated to help take care of the child because the child don't live with them. Is that not a correct thing?
I mean, yeah, virtually that's correct.
Right. So and that is why something like child support is created. So you could give some support towards the child. It ain't support towards the parent.
No, but the problem is you should an outside entity shouldn't force any one parent to do anything. Like at the end of the day, the woman having that child generally is her choice and what she chose or what she wanted. And if the man has that child, that's generally his choice and what he wanted. So at the end of the day, the parent that's demanding the children, they should be okay with taking care of the child, and whatever the other parent gives is gravy. Like at the end of the day, I don't believe in government being involved in my life. Like, trust me, I'm just saying I don't believe in that. But I also don't believe in saying that a woman is in control of me or a woman controls my destiny. Nah, I don't agree with either one of them.
Now, so you say we should.
Well, it is real quick.
Hold on.
This is 50.
Hold on real quick, Hood. Let him finish real quick, and then you got next. Go ahead, Sharon. What are you saying?
So we saying in the sense that we should repeal child support and just let it be up to the absentee parent what it can and cannot give.
Yeah, I think so. Because at the end of the day, the truth of the matter is we all know the dudes that's not doing nothing and not supporting their children, they're not going to do nothing or support their children anyway. The dudes that are willing to support their children are the dudes that get put on child support. In my experience, in my anecdotal experience, those are the dudes that actually get put on child support, the dudes that care about their children, that take care of their children, that want to do for their children anyway. Those are the dudes that actually do for their kids.
And then, so now, if that was the case, are we going to be mad at the parent that is taking care of their child full time, and they say, you know what, this little $200 that you giving me, even though it is nice that you suggesting it, it ain't enough. So therefore, you can't see your child because now you're giving all the power to that parent.
Bro, hell no.
I mean, but see, this is the problem. The problem is that child custody and child support are two different matters of law. So they do not conflate child custody or child visitation when they have a child support hearing. Those are two totally different things. So at the end of the day, if they don't conflate, hold on real quick. They don't conflate it in the court, so we can't conflate it here.
So with that being said, so you're saying you don't want to get rid of the child, what you called it? When they
custody.
Custody. You don't want to get rid of the child custody. You just want to get rid of child support financially.
Well, what I'm saying is that I think that parents, right? I think that parents should take care of their responsibility to their children, should take care of their children, and I don't think that the government should be involved in that.
And if the parent cannot financially, or the parent does not want to take care of the child financially, that parent should still 100% get all obligations to have 50-50 custody of the child.
No, I'm not. But listen, that's what I'm saying.
I don't. With you.
No. What I'm trying to say is one doesn't have nothing to do with the other. Like one is not conducive upon the other in the court. So I won't make one conducive upon the other here in this conversation. It's not. It's separate matters. They're two totally separate things. But in the courtroom, so they should be two totally separate things here.
Sharon, let me ask you a quick question so I can understand what you're saying. You're saying if somebody's not paying child support, you don't believe that the father, let's say the father is supposed to pay child support, he doesn't pay it. Are you saying you believe that she should have the say so of whether that child sees their father?
That's what he's saying. Yeah, that's what he's saying.
Yeah, I don't think you have any say so about the child at all. No.
So that's crazy.
That's kind of.
That's still your child. It's not your child.
I was, that's not even where I was coming from.
One mic.
That's why I wanted to.
Hold on, one mic. Let Corey finish. Go ahead, Corey. You got it, bro.
I was just saying, that is your child, bro. And because you're not paying her child support has nothing to do with what you're doing for your child when your child is with you.
Bars.
You taking care of your child when your child is with you. You clothing your child. You feeding your child when your child is with you. The fact that you're not giving her money to do what she's supposed to be doing, that's crazy, Sharon.
But that's not what we're talking about. Bro. No. So
that's exactly what you're talking about.
No, it's not.
I think it was a little different.
Okay, go ahead. Say it again. Say it again. My bad.
That's not what I'm talking about at all. So what I'm saying is that a parent that is not attempting to take care of their child at all financially is not going to be the same parent that's going to have say so on how the child is going to be raised.
Yeah,
You
that's
cannot.
what- You was
You definitely don't have the same power. I agree with that.
One second, Uda, what you saying, Uda?
he was just coming at it from a person that takes care of his kid in some perspectives and stuff.
Right.
But
Yeah.
he's
Right, that's what we're saying.
not taking care of the kid at all.
Yeah.
Right, but this is the
The
thing. So,
say
hold
so
on,
is a
hold
whole
on, hold
other
on.
issue anyway, bro.
Right. Hold on real quick, because this is another thing. We can't conflate upon sometimes financially, if you have to live in a different household, your money is different than if you're living in the same household. So if that
Correct.
woman is forcing that man out or putting it what like Hood says in his terminology, if she's making it where that man has to leave and don't have no other choice and he got to make a whole nother way for himself, you don't have the same amount of money or the same allocation of funds that you had when you was in the household, because it was all one and now it's split up. So I think that there absolutely is something to be said about that as well, as far as the non-custodial parent having different bills and different responsibilities. Because again, if I can't take care of myself, I can't take care of nobody else. There's no way I can take care of nobody else if I can't take care of myself. So you know.
that goes both ways, because the parent that is taking care of the child, they don't have that extra support neither. So both parties is going to be in a financial strain regardless of who is the custodial parent, right? Because they got to do something a little bit more extra than what they normally do by themselves. So my only issue is that we cannot penalize the parent that chooses to stay, whether it's the male or the father. I think whoever is the main parent and they need some financial help, they should be able to get child support, whether it's a man or a woman.
But this is the thing. I think that should be the case if the person is not willing to do or willing to support the children. But a lot of times people weaponize the children and use it as what, like again, my ex-wife put me on child support because I left the state. And she wanted to be able to know for a fact what I was doing, when I was doing it, and to make sure of this and make sure, keep tabs on me, in other words, right? Mm-hmm. Because I was moving on. We was broke up. We was no longer going to be together. I was moving on. So because she felt like she didn't want me to go do this or go do that, she put child support on me because I was taking care of my children. I was seeing my children. I was spending time and spending money with my children. So at the end of the day, that was her choice that she decided to do. So I think when a parent decides to do whatever they do, I think that they should be the one to take care if they are the ones that making it away. So I agree with.
Let me get in here.
Hey,
let me get in here because there's something I wanted to add to this conversation real quick.
Right, but
the issue that the way that the issue has been resolved so far from a legal standpoint has been mandatory 50-50 custody. And what that has done, I mean, I think probably some paternity testing is in there too, but 50-50 custody, it was a thing that kind of made the news in Kentucky. And it not only did it lower the birth rates, but it's just not birth rate, it lowered the divorce rates rather. 50-50 custody, it lowers the divorce rates, right? So it automatically makes a different calculation for the people involved. And then secondly, it's just a more fair system for people to start out with. So if you're going to go into the court, if you're going to get the government involved, the government starting point is now 50-50 custody. And what that tends to do, not always, but usually, is it kind of negates the child support issue. Because now if the kid is in your custody most of the time, and the kid is half the time or whatever like that, now you can like legally and honestly say that I'm actually supporting the kid no matter what. And that negates a lot of the bickering. It removes a lot of the leverage. It takes away a lot of the negative incentives sometimes for bad behavior. And when you asked earlier about, men wanting to control women, that was like the whole point of conversation about controlling women. And it's not so much controlling women, but the power dynamic, legally speaking, is already way out of balance. Like socially is a whole other level, but just from a legal standpoint, the power dynamic can totally be redressed. And it doesn't have to take a woman back to the Stone Age or anything like that.
So my first question is, how long has this new policy in Kentucky been in place?
A couple of years. I want to say 2019, but I got to go back and Google it just to be sure.
2018. I know what you're talking about.
18.
No, matter of fact, it's 2016. I'm sorry, since 2016.
And what is the drastic change in divorce rates there? From what to what?
Overall, a lowering of about 25-ish%.
So you saying in Kentucky it went from 50%, which is the average in America, to now?
No. Whatever their divorce rate was pre-2016, they had a lowering of about 25% of that rate. I guess is how you would work that out.
So you're not really sure.
Well, I'm not getting into the hard details of every individual number, but the law exists, and so the numbers have already been out there. I don't necessarily have to be a mathematician right now.
Right. So I just don't see the correlation with 50-50 custody and divorce rates dropping. But I would like to see the numbers so we can have a good build about the numbers and how that changed anything.
In 2022, Kentucky was ranked 5th in the nation for its divorce rate, with 19.52% of married women divorcing per 1,000. And then Kentucky's divorce rate has experienced a significant recent decline, falling by 25% between 2016 and 2023. So it was around 20%, and then it dropped by 25%. So whatever 25% of that would be. I'm not trying to do all that shit.
Hey, thank you, Deacon Dave. I appreciate you, Deacon Dave, for the $2. Y'all be like Deacon Dave to support the show, support the stream. He said should introduce Robert to Sharon. Shout out to that. I think they
please don't do that.
Y'all are true. Shout out to
him. He definitely 500 for sure. But so my question was gonna be, is there a difference between wanting to control the actual relationship, like stop her from leaving, and removing the incentives for anybody in a marriage to just easily leave?
Right. Yes. That's kind of my point. Why are you calling it control when we just want to reset the balance of power here? I don't want to have to lock her into the basement or nothing like that, you know?
No, you're filibustering. And so free zone, the difference is free zone is in a marriage and you're not. And free zone don't be up here complaining about these women and these women's, and you do. So at the end of the day, that's what the difference is, right? So of course, it is. We all, I believe, would agree, except for maybe Sharon, that we need to change the laws a little bit and have the laws be a little bit more equal and even out the playing field. I think all of us could agree with that, except maybe Sharon, right? Now, I do believe that there's a huge difference between that and then complaining about the fact that women can't leave and women do this and women do that, when you don't have to be around those women or subject yourself to that. You can find someone that will be according to where you need them to be and will be more compatible with you. So that's the difference, I think.
I think when you get a 25% drop and human, well, like that is a huge shift in human behavior. And I'm arguing that when you set the dynamics in a certain way, you can expect the outcomes to shift. And so it's not all just about, finding the right woman. I mean, you have to kind of create the field so we can grow right women.
Hey, let me say this to
Sharon's point. Conservative. Just Google what you was talking about. You know what I'm saying? So it was based on some of the true things, but they also said that fact wasn't proven, that the numbers had dropped based on those things. They said that study also wasn't based on that. And study from, you saying 2016, 2008.
You got to mute.
Yeah, everybody mute when you're not talking, please.
You see what I'm saying? So based on the study, like they said, on that same thing, when Kentucky passed it, right? The 528 in April 2018, which created the rebuttal of presumption that joint custody and equally shared parenting time is in the best interest of the child. You're talking about this. But they're saying in this thing, they said, yes, they may have reported this as a 25%. More likely it was more 18%. And then they also say, though, yes, the number as it could be reported that way, it's not proven, though. It's really not proven as a fact. So whatever the point you make, I can understand it, but that thing is really not proven.
And Uda
I'll accept that. That's a good study.
Hood. Y'all don't hear the brother talking? Go ahead.
Let me say this, because this adds to what Sharon and Uda is saying. the Kentucky percentage allegedly is 25%, but the national decline also, it was at 18% itself. So it's not like you know what I'm saying, like this Kentucky thing is so crazy. Like it already divorces rates already dropped 18% during that period of time anyway. So that's just a few more, you know.
It's a compounding
yes
a thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Perfect. And that's what we got to really do. We got to really start being level-headed and just really break down information that we see. That was really good. It shows that it didn't really actually have nothing to do with the 50-50 custody, but just that people overall are maybe making better choices. Maybe this whole pandemic, when people was just falsely married to each other, it now maybe the dust is settling. I don't know, but I think people are just waking up to what they need to do, especially with the climate that it is in. People seeing that we could do better together as a couple, and it's better off getting things to move together than being right in a relationship. I think way too many times when we have these conversations, the men, they just want to be right in the conversation, and you cannot have a successful relationship trying to be right in a relationship.
Okay.
The whole panel is full of men. Everybody wants to be right. It's a weird point to take.
Okay, but hold on real quick. Go ahead, Trucker. You got it. And then Hood Surfer, you got it.
So one of the big issues that I have with a lot of us, right? And I'm gonna specifically keep this on the dudes. I ain't gonna say nothing about the women, right? Y'all why don't y'all find somebody that align with you instead of aligning with the law first? Like, for instance, like I hate when people sit here and say, well, the law says do this, well, I'm gonna do it this time. Like, it shouldn't take a law for you to get it right. You know what I'm saying? You should be doing that automatically within your home before anybody else say anything to you. But it just for me, it just seems like everybody just want to get it right when they place a law and then they use it, this, that, and the third. Like, it's weird to me. You know, and then the second part is, y'all got to stop moving in fear, man. Y'all really got to stop moving in fear. The more y'all move in fear, is the more y'all block the good. Yeah. Like earlier, you know what I'm saying? Like, it just, if you moving in bad faith, man, you're gonna receive bad faith until you get your mind right. Point blank. That's all I'm gonna say. I ain't got nothing to say.
I think that even with custody, with like the paying for children and stuff like that, I think that some people don't take care of their kids, bro, and they need something, bro. They just don't do it, bro. Like the hell, bro. It's crazy, bro. I got friends, family, bro. Them niggas would not do it, bro. Straight. I'm a cousin or a friend. I'm going to take care of their kids. It's crazy. As a family, we know that. But then also in the next side of that, you could say that maybe men sometimes have the dominant custody. But then there's women that also weaponize that against men. You know what I'm saying? So it's the women weaponizing it against men. It's the men that don't do nothing for the kids. That's really messing it up for that kid. Straight, bro. Because everybody else is doing what they have to do, bro. Straight.
But you already knew who she was before you had kids with her.
Some people
knew.
I don't know about that, bro.
Some people change too, bro. Some people change too. This is life.
We change over time. Hell, you change. You know what I mean? It probably ain't even her. It's probably you. You know what I mean?
We should know as men who we gonna be with and deal with. But sometimes a person could change too. Things happen in life too. You know what I'm saying? But regardless of the fact, we should be wanting to take care of our kids. You know what I'm saying? We should be wanting to do something. And taking care of our kids ain't just about money. Hopefully, you are giving kids money.
Somebody's mic is wild, bro.
Spending money, time is money. Teaching your kids stuff and all these types of things, that's going to be very valuable as well as money. You know what I'm saying? Of course. So think about it. You could be paying child support $30 a month for some whatever, but you spend time with your kids, bro. And all of the things that you spend time, imagine how valuable that is. But you really on paper, you paying about $60 or some crazy shit. So imagine.
Listen,
really about.
Listen, look, I only said what I said because I know niggas like that too, right? I know dudes that, you know, hey, I ain't taking care of my kid unless I get that pussy. You know what I'm saying? But you knew what it was. But he been already showing them actions before that child was even there. And the same goes for women. The problem is that too many people don't know how to cut people off. Just like just out here said, Ain't nobody control me. You can't weaponize my child. You know why? Because I wait till my child turn 18 years old. I will wait. Like, I'm going through that right now. The only time I get to actually talk to, my baby mom try to weaponize my kid. And you know what? For 7 years, I can admit that she was using the shit out of my child to make me feel some type of way. You know who ultimately was suffering behind that? My wife, my kid, my daughter that was just born in 2016, and the child I was fighting for.
Exactly.
And until I learned to say, you know what, I'll just wait till my kid turn 18, bruh. It was chaos. Once I realized that, bro, it ain't been nothing but peace. So at the end of so that's all I'm saying. Like,
Well, shout out to you because that you found that peace. Shout out to you for finding that peace. But you're still in a place where you want that child and you want to be in your child's life. And if you had the opportunity right now, you would be in that position right now doing that. You know what I'm saying? So you don't even speak to the volume of the other people. You know what I'm saying? I understand that what you went through and all of that and that pain that it caused on the siblings too, because also what they taking is your kid's sibling, bro. That's my kid brother. That's my kid sister, bro. Like, you know what I mean? So it's a lot of more that's breaking.
Yo, we got it. Can we stop doing this, bro? We end up in this we end up in this generalized conversation where we're all talking to people that ain't here. Like, we are all here having a discussion.
Right.
Can we like?
But this is the thing, Free Zone. I would argue that most of the men are like Trucker Yell. I would argue that most of the men, of course, there's some ain't shit men. Of course, there's some men that dip out and don't want nothing to do with the kid, whatever. Can y'all please mute? But I would argue that most of the men are like Trucker Yell, are like me, are like Corey, are like Hood Conservative. Most of the men, when it comes to their children, are Blanco, Truth. I don't know, Keon, if he has
they take most men want to be with it, like,
yes.
yeah, exactly, and that's why I say on both sides, like, if you're a dude, if you're a guy that gets with a rebellious chick, that's your problem, that's on you. Consequently, if she gets with an ain't shit nigga, that's on her. So it's not this always blame Jermaine thing. Like, it's not that.
Yeah, but that's to me, that's being disingenuous and disregarding a lot of things that happens between a relationship. That's the only reason why. I mean, because you're not wrong, but at the end of the day, it's like, man, people change, you change, a lot of things change in a relationship. That's the only reason why I don't go fully with what
no,
you
you know
said.
what's crazy about this whole situation? This photo that I have right now of me and my lady, right? This photo right here. I just found this photo about 3 weeks ago. This was when I was in a courtroom fighting for emergency custody. Literally.
Wow.
This photo that y'all seeing right here.
Wow.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, it's again, like, y'all, like, people, and I kind of want to go back to what we was talking about before. Like, there are a lot of men that's in court fighting for their kids, bro. And unfortunately, there is a 17% chance that they just might get 50% custody. When it shouldn't even be like that. Technically, y'all both should be working together to take care of them kids together. Regardless, shouldn't be no white man or no system in place for any of that shit.
Hey, so let me ask y'all a question, because I haven't been through this. I haven't been through any of that, and I know there's people up here that have. Is the bigger issue the child support or the custody?
It's both.
It's both.
It's both.
It's both.
both.
Even though they're not related, it's both. It's really both.
Because unfortunately, real talk, Free Zone, and I hate to say it, but just to be honest, some people actually do believe that, oh, well, if you don't take care of your kid the way I want you to take care of your kid, you won't see that child.
Yep.
And you know what I'm saying? Like, they weaponize that kid. Like, even if vice versa, right? I got my shit together, she don't got her shit together. Even though she wouldn't even have to put nothing, you know what I'm saying, towards the kid. Because at the end of the day, I just want you to be involved in the child. You know what I'm saying?
So if y'all,
that's what I'm saying.
Right. So if y'all had it y'all way, you would rather have like the 50-50 custody with no child support?
Yes.
Than to not be around and have to pay.
Yeah, or
okay.
Yeah, I would rather us work together and be cordial enough to communicate about our school's education, not have separate birthday parties, not do all type of things. You get what I'm saying? We're supposed to be working as a village, not separately. It's a damn shame that the child gotta have 2 birthdays every year.
Yeah, that's nasty work.
You
Okay,
know,
last question.
man.
Last
Truth is
go ahead, Truth. Go ahead, Truth.
Yeah, I wanted to ask Iz a couple questions before I drop down real quick.
What's up, bro?
Is based off of your experience, because you know, like when you talking about how long you had children, everything, and going through the system, would you say the way you handled it, majority of men would handle it that way? The way how you, huh?
How, as far as what specifically are you
I
referring to?
mean, like how you said, you continue to make sure that you were, you know, doing your due diligence. The only reason why it went into a problematic situation was because the woman was trying to control you and your situation.
Right. I think a lot of men, in my experience, and again, this is anecdotal, this is all I can speak to. Most of the men that I know are in the lives of their children. Now, a lot of my friends say that know me personally say I'm the best dad that they know, and my children have said the same thing. Now, so I mean, I did try to go above and beyond for my children because I wanted my children, right? So but it hasn't always, because I got a child that we don't speak. We at odds with each other, right? So you know, I can't say that it was perfect. I can't say I handled it. You know what I'm saying? Because my child, we don't rock at all, and we lost connection. So it's like I did the best I could. I did what I knew how to do, and I think I did the very best I could with what I was faced with. But you know, children still may feel this type of way about whatever. You know what I mean?
So if you could go back, hold on, Shalom, because y'all gonna be up here from I'm about to drop down. So if you could go all the way back, would you choose 50-50, or if knowing what you know now, would you say, hey, you know, if this is going to be such a problematic situation for you, I will take on full responsibility, and when you need to see the child or whatever, it can be vice versa. When you come and visit, you know, I ship he or she off to you, you know, like that, instead of like the woman having it with the child be with you per majority of the time, and then they get to be weekends and after school dates and all that other stuff.
I would have fought harder for that. Like I fought initially for that, but when I went through it, you know, the first thing when I was trying to go through child custody, the first thing they do is make you go through arbitration, right? Mediation, right? Mediation. And so when I was going through the mediation arbitration, hey y'all, I think the panel's full. So if y'all want to come up, you know, y'all more than welcome. But y'all know y'all got to boot somebody. So the panel's full right now. But yo, and my man Truth said he's about to dip. So y'all are good.
Yeah, I'm about to.
Truth. Okay, somebody just dip. Yo, so Truth is about to dip. Hank. So anyway, the deal is this, right? So long story short, they put in the mediation in the mediation that hey. They gave you the sad ass video about how the children lose if they go to child custody court, and y'all should figure out a way to work it out. And they had this, and the kids end up crackheads and alcoholics when their parents fight over them and shit. So they gave you the sad ass video in these classes and shit, right? And so at the end of it, I tried to work with this big headed bitch. And the shit just didn't work. Like, you know what I'm saying? Everything that we wrote down, she didn't keep up with none of that shit and flaked on it, right? So I should have just fought for the custody, and it would have been a little
for the 100% though, right?
100%, yeah, not for the 50-50.
Now, the last thing I'm asking, do you think majority of men would fight for 100%, which means then the mother would be at a weekend person and the holidays and all that other goofy stuff? Would you think that they would want to like totally switch it? The baby's mine. You can visit now.
No, of course they well, I don't know if it's the men so much. A lot of times the women fight because that is a meal ticket and that's guaranteed money. A lot of times the women fight really, really hard for that. But I can say about probably that'd be about 50-50. Half of the men would be fighting for it, half of the men would not fight for it at all.
Bro,
that's PC.
Look, I would say it would vary based on the ages of the child. Like when the children are babies and stuff like that, most men would agree that the children are probably better off spending the majority of their time with the mother. But once those children are around, you know, adolescents, teenagers, most dudes would be more than willing to have their children more often than not.
Right.
Right.
So
And
y'all saying right to that. That's
the
ridiculous.
real truth of the matter is that
You don't think most men will be wanting to have their kids? You said that's
No.
ridiculous,
Okay,
Keon, that most
yeah,
men
you're
wouldn't
right.
want to have their kids?
Most men.
No,
I forget we talking generalizations. That sounds
we're
crazy
talking
to
about
me.
all the way through.
Oh my
Yeah, I
God.
know.
we
Yeah, I
talking about,
forgot.
but
I be
Truth is talking
forgetting.
about all the way through from
I'm
the
talking
rooter to
about
the
all the
tutor,
way
not when they turn 16 and now they kind of
No,
independent.
16. There's no rate. I'm
Talking
talking
like
about
8,
when
9,
they turn.
10.
When it gets to
Even
the
from
point where
there.
they don't need a babysitter no more, 11,
Right.
12 years old,
Right. So
something
right,
like
so,
that. It's
right,
just
so,
because men are out working. You know what I'm saying? They doing their thing.
I had custody
Like
of my
that. That's just what it is. So when you got children like babies, 3, 4, 5-year-olds, they're usually in a better situation with their mothers.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, but at the
I
same
agree. They're
time,
in a
the
better
thing is,
situation
bro,
with
listen, I don't
damn.
I want my kid
I don't
regardless.
think,
That's probably
listen,
why I'm taking
kids
this.
are not
Yeah, I had 100% custody
kids
of my
are not that hard. Kids are not that hard to handle, bro.
I make it sound like it's a
What people is
strategy
missing.
to it.
One mic, y'all. One mic.
No, I'm gonna tell you why people is capping, right? Most kids, right? You wake up at 7 o'clock. Well, technically, you gotta wake up 30 minutes earlier to get them ready. They go to school. Once they turn 4, they go to school, right? You drop them off at 7. They get off at 3:30. They go to the after school program to play at the gym in the school, the same school that they've been going. You come pick them up 5:30, and then you go home. The kid do their homework, and he go play outside for like an hour. You read to him, whatever activity you got signed up for him, because you got to put your kids in activities, soccer, basketball, whatever it is. You got to make them kids do something, bro. But kids are not that complicated at all, bro. I got my kids with me all the time. As long as them kids got structure, them kids do not bother you like that, bro.
So I would like to say that's not raising your kids. That's number one. Number two, as a father that took care of his kid from the rooter to the tutor, after me and the mom split up, it is not an easy thing for a parent to take care of a kid that you still gotta change their ass and still find a way to make some goddamn money. And I think sometimes us as men, we kind of forget that part of it, and we kind of give ourselves a pat on the back because we could take over when they 10, when they able to talk, and when we could leave them at a babysitter and they could tell you if where did he touch you at, right? But when they are a goddamn baby and you everything is on you for that child to survive, we cannot just negate that. So that's the easy time to.
Thank you, Iz. I appreciate
you, True.
Yeah,
Sorry.
but you still got to go make some money, whether you got your own business or your 9 to 5, whatever it is that you got, right? You still dropping the kid off at a babysitter.
You break it up, Blanco. What's up?
You ain't going to have that kid all day long. That's the point.
What's happening,
Right.
fellas?
So,
What's up, Hank?
Good day. And so that's the part that I think a lot of men just fail to understand for some reason, because I just really believe majority of men don't understand the full understanding of taking care of a child because they never did it by themselves.
I've done it by myself.
Well, no, I'm just saying I've done it by myself.
Right now,
when my child was young,
I think
and when he turned adolescence,
right. And it's challenging.
People talk about the whole 50-50 custody thing. Is that a lot of times that's not really best for the child.
That's true.
Like imagine living one place half the time and another place another half the time. That's usually like instability.
Yeah.
So a lot of times, if you want some real stability,
right,
you got to work things out. I know what it is to have a documented 50-50 custody agreement and then have to alter it because it wasn't in the best interest of the child.
Yeah.
And
I
want to talk about that as well.
It created more problems than not.
Right, because the way you run your household may be different the way the mother runs her household, and there's different rules, different bedtimes, different food arrangements.
There you go,
different dynamics.
That
is a lot. For that's part of the thing that they were saying in that mediation video.
And then it starts to spill into their performance at school.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying, their social experience. You know what I'm saying, and stuff like that. So sometimes then you got to have that conversation with the other parent. Is not like it might look good on paper, but trust me, that's not always the best thing for stability for your children.
I wanted to talk towards that as well. That's a very excellent point, because the only way a 50-50 is going to actually work if y'all both have the same parenting style in both houses. And
Facts.
not out of
Highly
time,
unlikely.
nine out of 10 times it's not going to happen that way,
Right.
because of what time she got to go to work or what time you got to go to work. Is a plethora of different things that's going to be in between. And then let's not forget the things that just come up with having a child, the child getting sick, child getting into a fight at school, child.
Exactly. And also, Sharon, check this out too.
Different things that's
when one parent moves on or whatever, then you got issues that come up with like other siblings. You want to be the parent that separates siblings, things like that. So that can kind of change things too.
And so I think when we have this conversation, we just gotta. I understand men want to be this grandiose thing, but I think a lot of men do not have experience with raising a child and understand the whole ins and outs sometimes.
But
And
the
when I
women
hear
didn't have the women didn't.
Yeah, women
didn't
don't
have
come with that
experience-
either.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Women aren't born instinctively with the experience of motherhood. They have to experience that as well. That's not a good standard, Sharon. Everybody is new to mothering or fathering once the child is born. Yeah, that's not an instinct thing. Like it's not something that's just innate to a gender. I don't agree with that.
So women for a long it is a instinctive thing. Soon as she gets pregnant, when she feel that baby kicking her stomach, like it's some things that's just instinctive to them, and that is not instinctive to us, and it's okay.
That's biology, bro. That's not instinct.
The baby, once the child
Biology, not instinct, bro.
Sharon, though, it's also some things that are instinctual to us. You know, you as a father, you get some Spider-Man reflexes with your kid. Like things change up. You know, that fatherly instinct will kick in too.
Let me finish my.
Hold on real quick. Hey, Face Facts, if you want to come back, someone just dropped off. So if you want to come back real quick, there's a spot right now. All right. Go ahead, Sharon.
So once the child is born and you hold your child, you look your child in the eyes, usually that's when it takes over for the father to have that full protection spirit take over him and saying like, oh shit, I'm fully responsible for this little human being. So I just think it happens at different times. However, majority of the time, women are adjusted to knowing that it is their child. They're gonna have to take care of that child no matter what. It's already ingrained in their mind from, when they got pregnant. Everybody gonna say, that's your child. You better you responsible. You. And that gives the father like this kind of pass type of situation. So I just don't think most men really understand what all entails to be an active father.
Give me 1 second. Hey, Face Facts, how you doing, family?
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, okay, go. Give me 1 second. You next in line. Hink came before you. I just want to make sure everything good. I see you send a super chat. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem.
You get in where you fit in. All right. Go ahead. Yo, Hood, Face Facts, right? That's him.
I don't know if you ever been on a panel before, but I know you've been in the chat.
All right, cool business. All right, we'll give you a chance. All right, go ahead, Hink. What's up? Welcome to the show, Hink in the basement. Go ahead, Hink.
Well, there's a couple of things was said, man, that's concerning to me, and one of them is that I think Trucker said he's going to let his kids wait to grow up to 18, and before he starts, I guess, trying to create or develop a relationship with your kids, man. And
No, that's not what was said, Hank. Because I was the one that said it first, and he co-signed what I said. What the sentiment is if the woman tries to weaponize your child against you, right? To the point where your child, and we know the influence of mother, sometimes that influence can be strong. It's like a gravitational pull. So that child will begin to resent and hate the father because of what the mother told them. And so as a man, instead of going through that heartache and pain, sometimes you have to bow out. You have to take your ball and go home and pay your child support, and then look to adopt the relationship with the child where they have a little bit more understanding or where they're able to reason. And even still, it's not guaranteed that they'll be able to. I'll be real with you. It's not guaranteed.
And check this out. You said you got a child you don't. But I'm just saying, like you said, you got a child you don't even talk to. So sometimes it can work the other way around too. You can be active while they're children, and then when they become adults,
Auntie, hold on real quick. Let Hink finish, and then you got it.
After, well, that's the side I'm falling on, because you taking a penitentiary chance on waiting that long before you try to I guess rekindle a relationship with your child. So now you're giving this woman over 10 plus, maybe 18 years of poisoning to do that to your child. Now you're going against the grain. You're in an uphill battle that you may never win. So that's why I sit there and say, man, I can't agree with that. Now, I don't know if these women, if y'all ever had any child custody or child visitation orders. If you didn't do that, then that's a problem. Why wasn't that established? Why wasn't that?
That was, but see, this is the thing, right? So sometimes when I'm saying there's extenuating circumstances, right? So if you're living in the same state as that child, that works, right? But there's sometimes where you have to move for employment, you have to move for a career, which is what I had to do. And so I couldn't be there every day. I was there as often as I could be there. But even with that, even with me sacrificing everything that I sacrificed, even with me being there as much as I could possibly be there, even though those children were in the same house with their mother and their father until a lot of them was at least 9 years old. And my oldest was 12, almost 12, 11 going on 12. At the end of the day, and even though I took them to school, picked them up to school, same thing I do with my son and all of that, when the rubber meets the road, if they decide whatever they decide, make up in their mind, whatever they make up in their mind, like it doesn't matter how much you're there or how much you're not there. If the fact of the matter is, if that mother is poisoning them children's mind, whether she has them 50-50 custody, whether she has them every other day, like she's poisoning them kids' minds, and whatever they decide or whatever they go with is whatever they decide or whatever they go with.
I hear what you're saying.
They're not going to be nothing that you could do about it at the end of the day. Like I was there, so
Yeah,
I didn't do it. But I'm
what-
telling you, hold on real quick, Hank. I'm telling you on the other side of, like, at the end of the day, what I should have done. But I was actually there. I was actually active. I was actually a part. But the truth is, I could have saved myself a lot of money, heartache, and pain by, like, at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? I didn't have to be worried about it, to be real with you. My uncle took that route, and shit, he saved himself a lot of heartache, headache, and pain, and money too.
So I hear what you're saying, but sometimes you got to make certain sacrifice for your kids. If that means you got to sacrifice your certain amount of dollars you make in another state because you're gonna make a little bit less money in the state you live that you're currently in compared to the new one you can move to and make more money, you may have to make those sacrifices. Why?
Nope.
Because it's not about you no more.
Nope.
It's not about you no more. It's about them kids. Regardless of what y'all say, it's about them kids. When you decided to lay down, when you decided to get that woman pregnant, it's not about you two no more.
Listen,
It's about them kids.
Well,
Yes.
hold on. I agree with you, but in the modern landscape, you have, as a man, and this is the thing, as a man, you have to, if you're no good to anybody. And in the modern landscape, you have to protect yourself first. Yes, your children, whatever the case may be. I was married. I did it the right way. I had children by my ex-wife. She decided she wanted to do whatever she wanted to do, however she wanted to do it, whatever the case may be. Woo wop the Pam. It was what it was. I used to drive every weekend from Atlanta to North Carolina, to Raleigh, North Carolina, every weekend. I was sending money every week to my children. At the end of the day, I still don't talk to my son. We still fell out over some bullshit because his mama got in his ear about some bullshit. So at the end of the day, I hear you, but my experience tells me different. I know men who did it the other way, and listen, they don't speak to their son either, but they a lot more happier and got a lot more money, and their life is a lot better.
Yeah, let me jump on that. I can't go because see, I'm gonna continue to have a conversation with my son. Whatever she's putting in his ears, whatever poison, I'm gonna make sure I'm present so I can offset that.
You ain't offsetting that. Good luck.
Hey, Hank, though, understand this. Like, hey, a lot of us done been there. You can have the conversations. Once some children become adults, bro, they're gonna make their own decisions. So there ain't no instruction manual to parenting, and I can do things the same exact way that you do them, and it don't mean that I'm gonna get the same results that you get because them kids become adults, they become individuals, bro. So sometimes you can have them conversations, and your kids they just don't agree.
Is that
You don't
hold
agree?
on,
Like it come in, and it can happen with mom
And I
too.
can agree with that.
hold on, hey,
But
hey, or
you can be the parent that has primary custodial rights, and the kids be like, you know what? Once they grow up, to hell with you, dad. To hell with you, mom. Whatever.
exactly.
Sometimes it's just like that, bro.
I would like
Listen,
to jump
and,
in.
and hold
I
on
can
real quick. I'm gonna let you
understand
get
that
in.
though.
Hold on, Hank,
But at
Hank,
the
real quick. Hank, give me 1 second. And you could be paying like you weigh, but if that mama be like, oh, well, he didn't give me this or he didn't give me that, or if she has bad mismanagement of the money, which we don't never talk about when you paying child support, and that mama got bad mismanagement of the money, and them kids struggle because of the mama's bad mismanagement, not because the dad wasn't helping out. They blame you for that too. It's a whole bunch of dynamics that go into that.
take that to court and file for custody.
That's
Sounds
fine.
good. It sounds
See,
good.
the thing about me, some of y'all don't want to put yourselves on child support so you can have a record. Some people just want to pay out and do it that way. I don't believe in that. I'm going to keep a paper trail on the heifer. I have no problem with that. When my daughter didn't get sent to me on time, I took her ass to court. She had to pay half of her Disney trip and half of the plane because she didn't send my daughter on time and she missed the plane and she didn't get to go to Disney's with us because her mother wanted to keep her longer down there to try to hold it against me. I filed against her and I won a part of my money. Now, I still lost a week out on her, but guess what? She wouldn't do it again. You know why? Because she knows I'm not going to play with her about this bullshit. I'm not going to play about my child. I'm going to put you on paper. I'm going to make sure
violation of court
you're
orders
suffering.
because because you got
Why
documented.
you got to do all of that?
And they don't drop the kids off when they supposed to.
I would like to
seen
jump in, please.
You know what I'm saying? I seen shit, you know what I'm saying, get warrants put out for their arrest for not dropping their kids off or making the meet up and stuff like that. So yeah, it can happen. And what you did, I've seen it. And yeah, you do have to go through those steps. You do. You know, and do everything you can to be an active father. But just because you go through those steps don't mean that you always gonna get the best result. So I understand what is saying too. Sometimes
I understand, but guess what? If you do that and you prove to them, like you said, for some reason down the road you're like, yeah, my dad. No, baby, let me show you some court papers. Let me show you this. This is what I was trying to do. Now you need to go have a conversation with your mother why this didn't go through. Why this didn't happen, why you didn't get these things or that thing, or why you wasn't down here as much as you probably could. You need to present that to her. Let her see that and see the proof that you did attempt. Because guess what? You're not going to be able to show that if you just sit there and throw your hands up. Man, I'm not going to do anything.
Well,
I'm going to wait till I'm 18 and let bygones be bygones. I don't believe in doing that.
Well, listen, you realize
I lost money. I missed out on monies and opportunities. Why? Because of my kids. I didn't want to not be able to see my kids in any activity they was participating in or any events that I couldn't miss. I'd rather lose out on money in order to do that and to see my kids. If that means I had to make a lifestyle adjustment in order to do that, I was willing to do that. Guess what? Eventually they're gonna grow up and get on their own, and I can always make that money back up. But I can't never make up that time to spend with my kids.
And that's what's up. And there's nothing wrong with that per se. At the same time, that doesn't necessarily guarantee a result. Yo, Hood, if someone wanna drop so Hood can come up, y'all can go ahead. Sharon, or if someone want to buy Hood back, they buy Hood up, they can.
So what I want to say is that hold on. So what I want to say, Jesus.
Hold on, Trucker. Let Sharon's next, and you after Trucker. You're after Sharon's next. You're after Sharon Trucker. Go ahead.
So I want to say that what Hank is saying is 100% correct, and just because you might not get the preferred outcomes of doing all the things that Hank is saying, it doesn't mean that you ain't supposed to do it as a father. It's like what I said earlier. This shit ain't about guarantees. Even if you are in the household and do everything right, your kid can still probably say, you know what, I don't F with you, dad. You know what I'm saying? So it's really not a matter if your child is going to love you the way how in your mind your child should love you because of all the sacrifices you did that they did not see. Because in a child's mind, they don't understand all the sacrifices that you went through to even get them the things that they are afforded and for the things that they saying that you never did for me, they don't understand how difficult that was, especially as you get older and now you can afford more things for them. So when they was from 1 to 10, especially if you was a young parent, it's going to be way different from 10 to 20, and they might resent you from like, well, you wasn't always whatever the case is. So you got to look at it the way how Hink is saying it, that you have to do the good fight for the best results possible, and they are not guaranteed. As a man, as a father, it is still a strong possibility that you could end up in an Izzy Band situation. You did all the things that is possible that was strong for him, and the child could still say, you know what, I'm not answering the phone.
Right. But and like I said, listen, again, as a person who's seen it done both ways and did it the quote unquote right way, as right as it could be in the situation I was in, I would say protect yourself as a man. You got to protect your sanity. I agree with that, Hood. I agree with protecting yourself and provide and making sure you're straight first, because if you're not straight, no one else can be straight. I stand by that. I know what y'all saying, and I live what y'all are saying. At the same time, as a person who's lived what y'all are saying and seeing other people do it the other way, my uncle told me flat out, listen, I'm gonna pay the child support, but that boy mama disrespected me and that boy disrespected me. I love him, but F him. And that's what it was. And that's what it is. Like, yo, at the end of the day, like, yo, nah, man. Yo, your life, you only got one life to live. And if you know that you gave your heart, your soul, your money, your attention, and all that you can give to your children, and they don't respect you, and the mama is making life hard for you, do not keep allowing her to weaponize those kids against you. Pay your child support, and if she making it difficult or impossible, hold on. If she making it difficult or impossible for you to see them kids, F them kids. Go make some more. That's what I think. 100%.
I mean, I gotta agree with Hink on that part right there. And no, I'm not totally disagreeing with but at the same time, you should never let your kids be able to grow up and be able to say that you abandoned them.
That's a nasty word.
Under no circumstances, bro.
Yeah, because
they can make their choices. They can make their choices. You can hate me, but you'll never be able to say I abandoned you.
Well,
right, but they can't, but they still do. Like, that's the crazy thing. You can give your kids everything and anything, and they'll find any reason why. Well, yo, you didn't do this, or you didn't do that, or your mama. It's anything if they want
a lot of things that I did or didn't do. I can understand that, being able to say that, because you're human, bro. I mean, everybody gonna make mistakes. Ain't no instruction manual, just like I said. But one thing that you shouldn't allow your children to be able to say is that daddy abandoned them. That part is on you.
But that's the thing. That part is not
them kids, bro. F them kids. You didn't put in all the effort. Now you got to live with that on your conscience now.
Right, but I did put the effort. But I'm just saying, as a person who's on the other side of it, man, bro, if I had this to do all over again, yo, shit, they'd be mad at me.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you like this. I still have my kid live with me now, the youngest one, and she would still say, Daddy, you never do nothing for me. You're a mean man.
That's a fact.
So, like that whole, like, you can't necessarily look at it through a kid's lens when they talk about abandonment and you never was there or you don't love me, because they looking at it through a kid's lens. And then when they get older, they probably see it differently.
But I think that if we talking about the poison in the well, like the mama is poisoning the well, and this is why we don't want to be around because she's whatever the case may be. Don't you think that the biggest poison that she could probably put in the child is the fact that your daddy was never here, like that he just pretty much just gave up? I would think that would be one of the biggest evidences that she can give to that child.
So the thing about the poison in the well thing, right? If you show up, the poison in the well is going to get dampened a lot. So you just gotta make sure that you are not the one that is talking bad about the other parent, and show up for your kid, because at the end of the day, your kid gonna be like, why you keep saying all these things about my other parent, but I don't see it. Like, and then eventually your kid will grow up to say, hey, listen, you're gonna have to keep your relationship between my pops between y'all. My dad is my dad.
That's hopeful thinking. That's hopeful. That's very hopeful.
No, but if you are raising your child, that is more than hopeful, because you have to raise your child.
I mean, I gotta agree with Sharon on that. Like, great, I understand what you're saying. That's highly unlikely. Like, it don't happen like that all the time, but you do have to try.
You try. But what I'm saying,
no more. You got to make it about just you know what I'm saying, you and that child, and that's y'all time together. The other parent really ain't supposed to.
Right, but you
really
get what
matter.
I'm saying. I'm talking about like in a trucker situation where a trucker tried, he spent mad money, he tried to get joint custody, he trying to speak his daughter, and it's being weaponized against him. He's tried, his daughter knows he's tried, he's given all that he can, and like, yo, he gotta still live at the end of the day. So at the end of the day, rather than trucker going through all that heartache and pain and all that stuff, and he got another family anyway, nah, yo, you talk to your daughter when you can. And if they make it hard as hell for you, your daughter know everything that you've done. You document it. Listen, now this is the best advice that I was ever given. So let me give you all the complete picture. What my uncle said was, yo, he wrote his son letters every week. He wrote his son letters every week about, yo, son, I tried to call you at this time, and your mom, you know what I'm saying, wouldn't let me talk to you or wouldn't let me see. I tried to come see you at this time, but your mom, and again, you got to understand, my uncle's older. This is back in the days, it's a long time ago. My cousin is a grown-ass man now, so this is a long time ago. But what I'm saying is, what he said was he wrote letters like a little book to his son to let him know all the times where he was trying to be there, all the times where he was trying to contact, all the times where he was reaching out, that he was thinking about him, all that stuff. He wrote it down in the book. And so at the end of the day, the thing is, because mental health is a serious thing, man. If you break down, if you wear out, if you burn out, you don't have nothing to give to nobody else anyway. So my thing is like, yo, why stress yourself out, send yourself to an early grave when them people gonna dance on your grave, piss on your grave, and keep living like nothing ain't ever happened? Like at the end of the day, you heard damn Jay Piss. He said that EBT mean more to him than his god doggone daddy. You heard him.
Yeah, but that's only because his daddy
Not his
wasn't
kid.
there, you crazy ass.
Nah, I sway wave in the back so I know it's you.
But so hey, listen, I think I strongly suggest that fathers, if you are in the position where you have to split up with the mom,
Say,
hey, when you are with your child, you need to focus that time where about you should not speak about the other parent at all, especially
Right, I agree with that.
Especially if you are the absentee father, so to speak, and you are fighting for whatever time you have. You need to make sure you are not talking down on the other parent, because eventually your child's gonna get old enough, especially in this day and age, where you could get them their own phone and you could have communication, send them memes, and you can have different forms of communication. It's not the same
mama
as
don't
when
take
me
the
and
phone,
Izzy.
right, trucker?
Nah, hey, a lot of times that's
Hold on real quick, Auntie.
The same era as when it was me and Izzy, where you had to buy a StarTAC or a Nextel for a kid, and that was a very expensive situation.
Well, hold on, let Trucker. Hold on,
Auntie.
Auntie. Trucker got an interesting story, y'all. See, what I'm saying is, shout out to Trucker. Trucker got a really interesting story. So shout out to Trucker. Let me let Trucker tell his own story.
I would love to finish
if you want to.
I would love.
Well, hold on, real quick, because Trucker was really next, though. Sharon, you just went and you skipped over Truck. He was really next, though. Since you talking about,
you know, I've been patient this whole time. So
yeah, you have been patient, but Trucker was really next.
What? It's your show.
Trucker.
Yeah, I'm here.
Sharon, you have to Trucker. I want. Yeah. I Ben told Trucker he was next. Go ahead, Truck, and then Sway, you after Sharon.
No, I'm listening to everybody have a conversation, but let me pull over real quick because I'm gonna have this conversation real quick because people don't really understand how bad the situation was, and unfortunately, a lot of men don't talk about these situations. Normally, they just chuck it up and be quiet and do what the women want them to do. So, hold on, give me 1 second.
All right, be safe. Go ahead, Sharon, and then Sway, and then Trucker. You could go after Sway. Go ahead, Sharon. You got it.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello.
Yeah, we're here. Did you pull over already?
Yeah, I pulled over. The thing.
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry, Sharon. Go ahead, Trucker.
So,
and then
my bad. So, when I separated from my daughter, she was almost 2 years old, right? So, at first, there wasn't a court situation, right? I was, buying clothes and things like that. Whatever she needed, I got. But every time I got my daughter, and I noticed all the clothes that I was buying, she never had on. She always looked raggedy as shit, right? And I would go out and buy clothes, this, that, and the third. Then it got to a point where, He started holding my child away from me. To a point where it was driving me crazy, like crazy. I had to go downtown, file for, things like that. She already put me on child support, even though I was already taking care of my kid. I joined a fatherhood, like Ohio Fatherly thing. I think they closed down now, but it's called Urban League, Mount Vernon, Columbus, Ohio. I think they closed it down now. I was doing all of that while having a full-time job, the whole 9 yards. We've been in court for 7 years, y'all.
About what though? Y'all been in court 7 years about what?
About just getting do 50-50.
Child custody.
Child custody, things like that. It wasn't like I was trying to go for full custody because I understand, child needs a mother too. So it was, but yeah. So while that's going on, I don't know my daughter's social security number. I can't go to her schools. You get what I'm saying? I can't. It's even got to a point, bro. I got.
Think
Hello?
you got a call. Yeah. Come, yeah, you got a call. Go ahead. We can hear you.
My bad. Somebody called me.
We got you.
I have police reports. I've got everything documented, like Hank was talking about. I still got my shoe boxes of receipts. I've had to take pictures of the old ones because they faded out and things like that.
But
so
we
I
need to
have
do this story for the sake of the panel. We got you, Go ahead. So as far as the child custody, what happened? How much did you spend around, and what was the end result of all you spent and all that time going back and forth for child custody?
The end result was I finally said, F it.
Yo, you breaking up. Damn, you sound like a robot now, Truck.
Because somebody keep calling my damn phone.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
So yeah, how much?
Yeah.
How much? How much? Yeah.
So the end result was basically I spent $113,000, 3 mediations, 7 years in court, and I basically still didn't get 50-50. I didn't get none of that. It wasn't even close.
What was the reason why they gave you?
They didn't give me no reason. They just kept dragging it out. They really didn't give me no reason. I got to a point, dude. I got to the point where I had to get permission just to take just to get my daughter to go on vacation with me, which is weird as shit. I couldn't do nothing, bro. It got so bad, dude, that I actually moved to Charlotte for a year so I can get my mental right because I was losing my damn mind and I was gonna end up doing something stupid. So I had to protect myself in order not, and everybody else. Bro, I moved to Charlotte, to Concord, Charlotte for a year, and then I moved back thinking everything was gonna be on the up and up, and it was still the same shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like I still communicate with my daughter. I still, whenever she communicates, because anytime her mother finds out that she's communicating with me.
What happened when she found out she had a phone from you? What happened when you got her cell phone?
Oh, she broke it, bro. I bought a tablet. She broke that.
The mother, right? The mother,
yeah. Anytime I would buy her stuff, because I would still try to buy her some things. She's 14, by the way now. Her mother would take the stuff and throw it in the trash, bro. Like real shit. So now we have to sneak and communicate. And that's through Instagram or through that little free phone call stuff that that, like when she's over her grandmother's house.
No doubt.
So so at some point, like I said, it's not like I gave up. It's just the fact that, I got while all this is going on, my second child, which was born in 2016, was born. That was the last time my oldest daughter saw her sister. The last time I actually got to hold my daughter in my arms was 2017, bro.
Damn, man. I'm sorry that you faced that. But like that's what I'm saying. Like sometimes the answer is you gotta step back and do what you do. Go ahead, Sharon, and then Sway, and then we'll open it up.
That's why I was saying that this photo that I have right now with me and my wife, this photo right here was when we was in court.
Yeah.
We was in court, bro.
We got you. We got you.
So
Go ahead,
that's what
Sharon.
I'm saying.
It's misfortunate that you know, a woman would weaponize her child against the father, and it's going to happen. There's nothing that we could do to stop that situation.
Right.
It's a sad situation, and I hopefully that your daughter will forgive the whole situation, and just whenever you do get the opportunity to be around to, you know, you could rekindle whatever you feel like you lost. But it's a tough thing. You know what I'm saying? It's a tough thing. There's really no advice I could give you for that. I understand it. My son, he decided when he got older, he don't talk to me or his mama. He got his own apartment. He like, hey, I only talking to grandma. All right, fine, whatever. You know what I'm saying? And so, you know what I mean? Like, so, I just understand I don't know, understand into the depth of how you faced it.
It was
if I could actually give you, to be honest, and I feel for you. And I just want to.
How old is your son? How old is your son that did that?
My son is 25.
My son too. Yep, my son's 25 too. Yep.
You know what's crazy?
I told you we don't like you, old nigga.
Damn, Sway. Come on, welcome back. Sway, I ain't seen you in damn a year, and this is what you come back to. What's up, Sway? You got new
He ain't
cut and
never
everything.
forgot.
And ain't never changed, huh? Shout out to Sway. Hey, Sway, what say you, man? Welcome to the show.
Well, Sharon, you done or?
Yeah, I apologize, Sharon. I didn't mean to.
Yeah, I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good. So for the person that asked me why my son don't, because he don't want to, I said he don't speak to me or his mother. I didn't say just me. That's just what he decided to do. So
is him not speaking to you just because he don't like you, or just because he's not thinking about it?
He's not even thinking about He's not even thinking about me. To him, he you know, he's young and he's doing his own thing, and he don't want to be bothered with neither one of his parents or his uncles.
I mean,
only people he talks to is his grandma.
There's a time where I didn't call my parents, you know, just because I got so much shit going on with my life that I don't really want to talk to them about, because it's nothing good or new. It'd be just like struggles. So there was a time where like I didn't want to speak to anybody about anything, because you asked me what I got going on in my life. It's just gonna be me start getting mad because everything ain't really where I want to be at. So it's like I really don't want to talk about what I got going on, and the things I do want to talk about, you're not interested in, like video games or, you know, anime or whatnot. So it's like we really ain't got shit to talk about, because I ain't got nothing I'm proud of at the time, or you don't have the same interests. So that's different than I have a level of resentment and I don't like you, like, and I don't want to speak to you based on my experience to you as from a parent to a child growing up. Well, yeah, I was speaking on the mom kind of, I don't know like the exact terminology people use, but that like ear hustling the kids into not liking the father. I actually had to deal with that with my girl and her siblings. And I've realized that if it's the female not liking their father based on, like, it's the daughter not liking their father based on what the mother's telling them, typically if they didn't already have a foundation of a good, strong relationship, and when she was a child, it seems like what Trucker Yell's doing, where the daughter is somewhat understanding because she's willing to sneak behind the mom's back to still communicate with the father. But the case where the daughter is grown and she don't like the dad based off of what the mom told her on how she treated the mom, typically those situations don't amend until whomever that daughter is dealing with, i.e. her boyfriend, tries to put a third-party perspective from the man's perspective to influence her to deal with her father again. Because that happened with my girl, and that happened with her younger sister. Her boyfriend is now currently also trying to sway her to understand that it ain't as black and white that your mom made it to sound like. And you're like, I had to literally tell my girl that the way y'all make the shit sound, I would probably act similar to what your dad reacted to in those situations. I probably wouldn't have done the fucked up shit that your dad did to your mama, but still, in terms of the treatment, in terms of y'all, all I'm doing is the bare minimum. If I'd go above and beyond and I'm still getting disrespected by y'all, at that point, I got 4 women in my household that's constantly disrespecting me, regardless of if I'm good, bad, or indifferent to them. Then I'm just going to make sure y'all survive. Y'all got a roof for your head, y'all got food, clothes, but I'm not buying no tablets. I'm not buying no crazy trips or amusement parks or this and that. No, I'm not doing none of that extra shit. And you know, they were kind of questioning and why their dad wasn't doing that. I'm like, y'all constantly disrespect them. I wouldn't go above and beyond for y'all either. Like, y'all talking about the man, as much as y'all hate him and disrespect him, the nigga would still be willing to die for you right now. Like, and every time I tell them that, they like have to take a step back because they never see it from that perspective. Your dad, at least one man in your life, you know, would take a bullet for you, regardless of how you treat him. And usually that kind of helps the conversation go. So I've influenced my girl to have a greater foundation, you know, with her dad. And I think, like Sharon said, once that becomes the case where the child sees it from the other side or has a decent relationship with them, they'll typically tell the aggressing party to stop talking about them. Like, she is constantly telling her mom at the time, like, hey, I don't want to hear you bitch and moan about dad. I don't want to hear you bitch and complain and say how he's all bad, all this, when I know you had your own part to play in it. You know, I know he did fucked up shit and I can acknowledge that, but you know, you're not necessarily
no F-bombs,
a victim.
sorry. And no F-bombs, Sway.
Oh,
I know you didn't know that. I didn't reiterate that.
You not,
so
you
no
know,
F-bombs,
essentially,
just a $5 fee.
I got you. I'll send it. She just reinforcing it to your mom that, yeah, I understand where you're coming from and dad did some messed up stuff, but you're not a victim in all of it. You could have left 20 years ago, but you decided to stay through it. And now you're complaining about it 20 years through a marriage, and we have to sit here and deal with the repercussions of it. Like, so stuff like that, just kind of holding them accountable. They're not going to let it slide anymore. But I've known it tend to those girls, even girls I know now that are grown adults that don't like their father. They're not going to like their father because their dad isn't going to be like, the same words that the dad could say won't be comprehended or felt the same if it comes from, I guess, a third party man that's trying to like see it from a, you know, that they respect. Like, what is it? It matters the person rather than what they say. So if it's Jay Prince saying something, we're not going to take him seriously, rather than if it was Anton Daniels saying the same thing, people are probably going to take him a little bit more seriously. It's similar thing like that. They're not going to take their dad seriously. They're just going to think he's lying. He's full of ish. You know what I mean? They're not trying to listen to him. So usually it has to be from a third party perspective, just talking to him. Anyways, that's it. That's all I have to say. You're on mute.
Yeah, go ahead, Hood. You got it. You want to say? Go ahead, Hood Servitor or Hink. One of y'all got it.
Well, I know what I'll say is, you know, I feel bad for Trucker in this situation. I understand. But there's a lot of things you got to ask, man. Was she like this before you got this woman pregnant? But one of the things, man, as men, we got to make sure we pay attention. I seen the clip, and as OG said it so well, the type of woman can affect your family. A type of woman you get pregnant or have a child with could affect your family. You know, fortunately for me, I was able to see my ex-wife and how she did handle her baby daddy, because she already had a child just like myself. So I witnessed, I experienced that. You know, and that was fortunate for me, I guess. It depends on who you ask for some people. Some people don't have that luxury. So you just got to kind of see how they handle and how they interact and relate with other people to kind of gauge off how that could be you in that same situation. And we can't let our egos get in the way, sit there and say, well, she ain't going to do it to me. Bullshit. Bullshit. Keep saying she's not going to do it to you. You be the first one she going to do it to. So you have to pay attention to little things like that. But unfortunately, we get caught up with the exterior. The titties are big, her ass is juicy. Man, that cat's wet. And we lose sight of the big picture, what's going on between a damn ears.
Right. But
so
I think Oh, go ahead, Tink. I'm sorry.
No, I was gonna say my question is, fellas, are you paying attention to the details? And I understand y'all can say, well, people could change. This is true. This is very much true. Her feelings can change, emotions can change. You can see that, but there's certain things that she will show you that doesn't change. I'll leave it there.
Let's say this, Hank, even if she does change, right? As a man of your age and your experience, let's just say, God forbid, man, my words never have any impact on Hank or his family's life. Your new wife, right? Let's just say, as lovely as she is, Miss Hank just switches up on you out of nowhere and she flips the script, man. My words have no power. And then she does her thing and leaves you hanging. Is your world gonna be over? Are you gonna sit there sulking, or what's your mentality or your philosophy gonna be if that should happen, God forbid?
So your question is, if something was to happen with me and my new wife.
Yes. And she flips the script on you out of nowhere and she changes up on you and then she just dips. She wants to divorce or dip or whatever the case may be. Any version of that you want to go with.
Well, see, it'd be a little different now.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have no kids together.
Right. Uh-huh.
So that will be a big difference. Now, me probably wouldn't looking to get married again because this is my second marriage right now.
Right.
I wouldn't be looking to go to number 3.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I would just enjoy my single life and being a single man, doing single man shit and moving and operating as a single man, if that was the case. Now, like you said, Lord forbid it would.
Right. Now, would you be able to breathe, or would your oxygen be taken away and you can't breathe and you can't function and you can't? And again, I know that you love your wife to life. I know that for a fact. I know that that's the reason why you chose her, because you love her to life. She's a good woman and she's great for you. So this is not personal to her. I'm just speaking of your mentality in general about if a woman was to be able to leave you and go her way. Are you going to be able to function? Or are you going to be just stuck there?
No, I'll be fine. Now, I'm not going to sit there and say it might take a while.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It may take some time, but eventually I'll be all right. I'll get through it somehow, some way. With you know what I'm saying, with a lot. It's going to take some time.
With the grace of God. Right.
Yeah. I mean, what I think happens is that a lot of men, they define themselves by their family, by their job, and by how much money, instead of realizing that men got to go through certain stages of life and move through those things and learn something from it. So a lot of them, they take that defeat of losing a wife or losing a position in life, losing an apartment, being homeless for a quick stint, and they wouldn't be able to smile the way how Iz can smile about his situation. However people try to look at it or whatever, he would the part that a lot of people miss was that he was attempting to show people that you could still move through life. And that was the thing that he was really, regardless if he was embarrassed or not. Yeah, he was embarrassed. Fine. So what? But that doesn't mean that he's all going to stay embarrassed, right?
I wasn't that embarrassed.
Whatever. Well, I'm just trying to think of some words. You know what I'm saying? Whatever emotion was going through at that moment, you went through it at that moment. It didn't define you, whatever those things were, whatever that is.
Right. And make no mistake about it. I love my son's mother to life. Like I had a child with her intentionally. So best believe, and I could have had a child with anybody, but I had a child with her. So best believe that meant a lot to me. But at the end of the day, I'm not gonna get mad or like spaz out. But it took me going through some stuff to get there. Jalen, let me see you so I notice you. Hey, shout out to Ronnie, man. That's the funniest quote of the day. He said, give her a Chinese name, Wan Guan. Wan Guan. Hey, listen, it got to be like that stuff. What's up, Jalen? What's going on, man? How you doing?
Easy, I want to tell you something right quick, man. I'm going to tell you like this. The whole child support system was designed to destroy the black family. You know why? Because I listened with the Black Culture Unlocked. It's a channel that I had seen before. Mm-hmm. It said that the U.S. government was designed to cause between the black woman and the black man, and that's the problem within the black community. That's why we don't have fathers in our households, because of that child support system. It really did an impact to the black community, according to Dr. Umar Johnson.
You quoting Dr. Umar? Hey, you right though. You right though.
You
Shout out
need
to
to talk
Jalen. Jalen B getting all the talking points. Jalen is the arbiter of the talking points. Shout out to my man
Yo,
Jalen.
Let me get in here
yo,
for a
this is
minute. Let me jump in here for a minute, because I've been listening at work for a while, and I want to point out that there's something hilarious that happened. I don't think you guys noticed. So a while ago, before everybody started talking, trading their own personal stories and whatever, because that's what happens as dudes on his line. We start finding out that everybody has gone through something very similar up here, right? And when I said earlier that men organizing against women or something like that, everybody kind of laughed and they were shocked and act like it was crazy and weird, because it is crazy and weird. It sounds crazy and weird. Like, how would you wind up in this position? But everything that all of you just talked about, every life story, every personal family failing, every war story, every bitter baby mama story that you just told, none of you can solve that with game and rhythm and pretending I'm just him and I'm the man and my presence is a gift and all of these quotables that you guys kept throwing around earlier. When it came to telling your own personal war stories, all that stuff about being the man, it went out the window. I had to deal with the rules of the law, and that is crazy.
Yo, hold on, fam. You keep twisting up. First of all, hold on, I got you. First of all, we never said none of that stuff that you're accusing of saying. That's number one. But the second thing is, Jay, if y'all can mute real quick, if y'all not talking, please, everybody mute if y'all not talking. But the second thing is this. We're telling you as men, we do not be defined by the obstacles and the challenges and the shit that we face. We're telling you as men, we're not going to sit and complain about that shit and whine about that shit and blame the woman on that shit. We're going to keep moving and pushing forward and living and persevering. That's what we're trying to tell you. We're telling you that we've been through the same shit that you've been through. We've been through a lot of shit, but we just don't look at it the same way. That's why we have a different result. We look at it like, yo, we've been through it. We learned the lesson. We're going to get better, and we're going to do what we got to do to continue to live the quality of life that we want to live. We're not going to blame the women. We're not going to sit here and cry about it. We're not going to sit here and say, oh, well, I can never find. Yo, all of these men are married again. My man Sharon is married. My man Truckiel is married. My man Hink is married again. We've been through the stuff, but you get mad, you get back on the horse and you ride again. You ride again. You sitting there stuck. Don't do that, Sharon. Don't do that.
Yeah, you don't actually have to, though. You don't actually have to, though.
You sitting there stuck, though. You're sitting there stuck, and that's the point that we're making. We're not stuck. That's the only point that we're making. We're not stuck.
One, you yourself, I think, admitted if you get married one more time and that don't work, you're out. Hank just said himself, everybody got a limit. So don't act like you're suddenly impervious. So right, everybody got the limit. So am I. Shit, acting like you somehow older than me is some great difference. We're not that far apart. The whole point is to point out that you're acting as if you have a limit, but everybody else don't. No, listen, don't call other people stuck when you're approaching your limit too.
You're missing it.
I mean, if I'm going
real quick, hold on, Hank, real quick.
Okay.
I apologize, and you got it. We're talking about the mentality and the way that we look at life. And this is the problem. You're looking at life with a loser's limp because you had bad times, because you had hard times and shit didn't work out and it was painful. Oh, well, I'm not these women. And until they change these women, and these women are never going to change. This is the nature of women. Some of them are good.
You're filling in gaps now. I never said any of these things.
Hold on. Yes, you did. You lying. Some of them are good for you. Some of them are not good for you. And that is what it is. At the end of the day, you pick the one that's best for you, or don't pick. We don't care. But don't sit here and try to tell us that we got to think all the women are bad and none of the women are good. And we got to battle with these women when we don't want to do that. Don't try to put that on us. Yo, go ahead, Hank, real quick. You got it.
No, what I was gonna say, man, Hood. Hood. I'll just call you Hood.
Hood conservative.
All right, I'll just call you Hood. You be looking at me. I'll be going to my third attempt, dog. At 50 years old. Yeah, that's asking too much for me, dog. It really is. A third time. If I couldn't get it right the first two times, that third time ain't gonna make it much better. So no, I wouldn't go back in it for a third time. But I did do it for a second time. Now I ain't gonna sit there and tell you it didn't take a lot. And I might sound like I might have had your type of mentality. All these women are bad until I went to therapy. It took me about 2 years of therapy before I got to open enough to be even looking to get married again. And that doesn't mean I was gonna find one, even though I was looking, because now my standards are way higher than they was before when I got married the first time, when I was 29. So yeah, my standards changed, expectations changed. So I see things a little bit different just due to my experience and due to what I learned. You know what I'm saying? So then to actually do it for a third time, yeah, I probably would say it. I ain't gonna lie to you. I probably would set it out. I would say, yeah, I'm gonna let you guys have it. More fish in the sea for you guys, and I'm just gonna sit back and watch you guys.
My whole point in bringing it up, and I know this is a weird thing, especially because, like, you know, black men just have a weird relationship to this thing. Men have adopted the blame that women put on us and carry that stuff. And I hear it in everybody's voice and everybody's story. Like, everybody has adopted a little bit of the accusation that the women put on you. And I'm just looking at the landscape of it all, and I'm like, maybe it's not all the men. Maybe it's just not. And we somehow are comfortable saying, well, I just got to be better, and I just got to do this, and I just got to that. And I'm like, I don't know if it's that easy, but you keep blaming yourself if you want, bro. If it makes us feel better to blame ourselves, then so be it.
Because that's the person.
Yeah, but Hood, there's certain things that you may do, you have to blame yourself. Now, I could admit that I fucked up in my marriage. I made a selfish decision.
I need that 5, man. Y'all gotta stop with that.
I got you, man. I made a selfish decision, and I messed up in my marriage, and I cheated on my ex-wife. I cheated. I have to blame myself. I can't sit there and blame her. I can't do that. I did that. I made the decision to do that. As selfish as it was, inconsiderate, and thoughtless as it was, I made that decision. So I have to. Now, maybe Izzy did something that wasn't his fault, but he won't accept blame. That's him. I'm a man. I can admit mine. I know what I did.
Wait, why you saying I don't accept blame? I accept mine. I'm not trying to blame nobody else. Listen, because I'm the common denominator. Go ahead, Sharon, but I'm the common denominator in every situation I'm in. It's me. Like, at the end of the day, let's just say she's at fault for everything. That ain't gonna help me in my next situation. That ain't gonna help me go through life blaming her for everything. I gotta take accountability for myself, because I gotta live with me, and I take me everywhere I go. That's just the bottom line. So if nothing else, for your own self-preservation, you got to look at it from a standpoint of what you could fix or what you could work on about yourself, and stop blaming everybody else. What say you, Sharon?
I think to people that I think to men that are stuck, they feel as if it's just platitudes, right? It's just the old cliche. You just gotta do better. We tired of hearing the same thing. The problem is that it actually works when you just deal with yourself. When you realize that you are the person that put yourself in that position, and that you are the same person that's going to get you out that position, life moves forward, and it moves for the better of you as a human being. And I get it. It's going to be a cliche until you're able to do it yourself. I feel for the brothers that don't understand that, because it's a tough position. Being a man in this day and age, when I'm starting to realize majority of men only want to they only pay themselves for like 4 crayons, and that's a real problem that we have. And this is why they cannot communicate well with women. While you keep trying to paint with red, she over here telling she's pink, and you can't understand. You need to add a little white to to your situation, so this way you and your woman could be on the same page. Women got so many plethora of colors that they use to paint themselves with, and men try to keep themselves in that, I'm a protector, I'm a provider, I get angry, I'm a punch, I'm the sexiest man alive, and they just have those 4 little crayons. And then when you realize that you are more than just masculinity, whatever's your idea of masculinity, you are much more than that. You could present that to your family, and it's going to be better for you and your family.
Well, I'm not saying none of that. I'm not saying, hold on, I want to be
Yeah,
clear. Sharon
don't down as me, so you know.
Hold on. Sharon don't speak for me, so I want to be clear. Sharon does not speak for me, bro. At the end of the day, all this colors and crayons and boxes and shit, that's his own shit, and manning up and all that shit. I'm not saying none of that shit. I'm just saying that, you are enough, you are worthy, and you got to look out for you. That's all I'm saying. I'm not. We think we ain't quite on the same page all the way. I ain't all the way over there, but I ain't over there with you either. I'm in the middle.
In your crayon box.
I got a bunch of colors in my crayon box, sir. But at the same time, I'm not gonna do all this pink and chartreuse and god doggone fuchsia shit. I'm not doing that.
Yeah, there you go. Look,
Nah.
how you knew all those colors was that?
I know the colors, brother. I know the colors.
I think overall wise, it's
Thank
you
you,
have
Hank.
an understanding. I'm just gonna make this little brief statement. As a man, you should have an understanding of the things you can't control, but you should always focus on the things you can control if you want to actually make a difference in your life. But to be obtuse to the things you can't control is naive. But to focus on it as like that's what dictates your life is also inappropriate if you want to get better outcomes.
Thanks.
Hey, Hood, just to let you know, man.
I think when you're up in front of the judge and you have to go through the system, you have to.
Hold on, Hood. You hear Trucker talking?
Somebody else was talking? No, I didn't.
Yeah, Trucker was talking. Let Trucker go. Then you after Trucker. Go ahead, Trucker.
Saying because at the end of the day, even though my whole situation is messed up,
am I the only one that can't hear him?
Yeah, you the only one that can't hear him. You can't hear Trucker talking. Trucker, I can hear Trucker. Can y'all hear Trucker talking? Yeah, we hear Trucker talking. You're the only one that can't hear him.
So ahead, what I was trying to say is, at the end of the day, man, I get what you're trying to say about, we always be blamed for everything, but I'm gonna be real with you. Even though I got to go through that horrible ass experience, it's my fault at the end of the day because I chose that way.
Check yourself.
That I still, you know what I'm saying? I gotta hold myself accountable on that part. I chose the woman, and I got to deal with the consequences.
Hood Servant is
what I'm saying.
Oh, he's
so. But I took the time out, like he was talking about. It took me 2 years to get over that shit. Actually, I was still going through it when I met my wife. You feel me? And you know what I'm saying? In them 2 years, man, it helped out a lot. Instead of doing what everybody else normally do is hop right into a new relationship and things like that. So, I'm just saying, man.
Hold on, Ruthless. Hood Servative is next, and then you have to Hood Servative, Ruthless. Go ahead, Hood Servative. You got the floor.
Now, all I was gonna say though is that when you're up against it, you're going to court and all that. You're not going up against masculine theories and patriarchal concepts. There are laws and policies and procedures in place. And when I hear everybody up here telling their stories, they were up against laws and policies and procedures, and a person who was willing to manipulate that whole thing against them. And this is why I keep reiterating, dudes get way too romantic. It's not a romantic problem, bro. You can't game your way out of that.
Why do you keep going back to this? Go ahead, Ruthless. Wait, hold on, Trucker. It's Ruthless' turn. Hold on, Trucker. It's Ruthless' turn. Go ahead, Ruthless. You got
what I've seen here. Good evening, gentlemen, and
good evening, sir. God, dog, man. Good evening, Ruthless. What's up, man? He's truly ruthless. Hey, yo, hold on real quick. In the meantime, we just need 4 more people to help us reach our goal. Help us reach our goal. 4 people, $5 a piece. Help us reach our goal, man. Thank you to Hank, and thank you to Auntie, and thank you to, let me see, make sure I address, hold on real quick. I'm sorry, Ruthless. Give me 1 quick second. Let me make sure I got to the people, man. Thank you to Romello747. He said, I can't see come down my eyes, so I gotta make the song cry. Shout out to that. He said your presence is lacking. Is lacking to an emotional and empowered woman, to an empowered woman. Shout out to my man Dad Dasty Show. Thank you. He said, bruh, why Hood out here trying to rule woman? I think I read that one. Shout out to my guy Auntie. Auntie said, usually ain't ish. People end up with ain't ish people. That's what nobody wants to admit. These chicks get nigmas to their level and vice versa. Shout out to you, Auntie. Appreciate you. And thank you very much to Face Facts 499 said, y'all keep saying child support, quote unquote. There's no such thing as child support. All your paperwork says title 4D. 4/D. Okay, shout out to you. I gotta look at that, man. Thank you very much, Face Facts. Thank you very much, Auntie, and thank you very much, Hink in the Basement. We just need 4 more people to support the show. Y'all support the show. Go ahead, Ruthless Truth. You got
so what I've seen here shout out to Tucker Yell, self-check, right? I think a lot of women have get these men, even if they're wrong, right? Even if the woman is messing up and destroying this dude's heart, she's going to break him whether she's right or wrong, right? And this is the problem. Nigga, we don't need to self-check, right? We understand that relationships go bad. We understand we have a partner, but we don't need to take all the motherfucking blame. She has to. I know, you ain't got, I know you're a capitalist, but anyway.
Yes, you better know it. And I said no emphasis.
So men do not have, listen, women have to take responsibility for their own actions, right? They make money now. They are out here in society thriving. They are intelligent, intellectual. They're adults. So they have to accept full 100% accountability. And it's not on the man because she doesn't want to stick to the plan. This is solely on her, and she has to take that.
Right, we agree with that. We agree. Hold on. I agree with hold on, Rufus. I agree with if a woman, it's on her, but my thing is, what does that have to do with you? Like, if she decides that she wants to go her way, and then she loses out with all the, hold on real quick, she loses out with all the things that comes with being with you, and that's her loss. So why get mad at her or blame her or feel a type of way because she don't want the benefits of being with you anymore? That's her loss.
When people listen, when you're talking about husband, wife, or with kids, and you think it's just easy for people to take that heartbreak or that letdown, I'm just saying, right? I'm just saying, like, you think you just act like she's gonna say, "Bye, nigga, I'm leaving," and you just, "Okay, dear, off to next. Let me do some push-ups."
Man up, bro. Like, I'm not gonna say man up, but bro, like, I lived it recently in front of everybody to show you it ain't no thing. Like, yo, fam. At the end of the day, if you don't stand for something, you're gonna fall for anything. And so if you don't have no principles and you don't have no standard and you don't have no code that you live by, then of course you're gonna be subject to the whims of women.
What was that code?
Hold on real quick. I got you. I don't understand why y'all want to be subject to the whims of women. It don't make sense. Did it hurt a little bit? Yeah. Did I like it? No. At the same time, at the end of the day, there's a whole bunch of shit in life that I don't like. There's a whole bunch of shit that I gotta do every day that I don't prefer not to necessarily do or not to have to necessarily endure. That's part of being a damn man. Like, at the end of the day, like, we good. Like, it's okay. That's not fair. What's not fair?
Can I say something before you say your fair piece?
I'll give you, Sharon. Let me
say something before you say your piece real quick. I just want to say, like, like all this talk when we be having conversations, they say you're supposed to stay for duty and duty this. It ain't about how you feel and happiness and all this. So it is a duty for you to take care of yourself and to move forward. And that's how you need to start looking at it. Hey, you are responsible for you. If you put yourself in that situation, you are the same one that can exactly. And it's your duty as a man to take care of yourself.
Of you first, exactly. I agree with you on that 100%.
We're not disputing that, right? We're not disputing that. What we are saying is that's not fair for Izzy to say, well, don't get mad because you don't have a plan or you don't got this, you don't got no. Nobody wants to get hit. Nobody wants. Listen, when this comes to talk about breaking up family and unions getting broken, everybody don't have the same reaction. It's not a one size fit all. Now, Izzy, you may be the type of guy, Sharon, might be guy, okay, let me get my shit and go. But not every man is going to do what y'all do. Some men might take that pretty hard. So I'm not. Listen. I'm not saying I'm promoting it. What I'm saying is, you cannot judge another man's, how he feels about his wife doing something to destroy that family, because that man may have a lot more invested emotionally and financially in this situation, and he might want more retribution. So,
okay, Rufus, hold on real quick. Rufus, we got you, but the problem is that we're not trying to tell an individual man or a man how to think or how to feel, right? I've said it 1,000 times. Let me say it for the 1,001st time. If you and Hood or whoever one man wants to feel however you want to feel, you're entitled to that. That is on you. The only pushback y'all get is when y'all try to make it seem like everybody else needs to operate and think like you. We're saying that no, they don't. That's the pushback that you're getting. You as an individual could do whatever the hell you want to do. But if you're trying to push it on everybody else, you're going to get a whole bunch of pushback from me. But let me ask you a question. This is interesting. Rogue C199 said he's mad because he knows she'll upgrade after. Is that really the thing? Is that the thing that you're upset that if that woman leaves you, you know that she's gonna upgrade and she's gonna be happy, and you don't want her to leave you and upgrade and be happy?
That's a lot of cases out here.
That is not the way we see it. We believe that if she does that, she deceived us.
I want to tell y'all something when y'all get done talking. Sorry.
She deceived us. She lied to us, and this is a very hard thing to take. Sometimes it is.
And I want to say this: so the person that gets over it is usually the person that's going to win out of that breakup. So whoever is stuck in that relationship, the next person they're going to get is going to be worse than whoever they left. And this is why it's very important, and it's a duty for you as a man to take care of yourself, because if you take care of yourself, your life and the next woman that you're going to get, both of y'all going to be levels up from your last relationship, because you learned your lesson from the previous relationship, because you're not supposed to hold on to that bag. You're supposed to know what it is and move forward and leave that baggage there. Move forward.
If I walk into my house and my wife is getting a cheese clap, everything died.
So what?
Hold on. So I was just having a conversation with Ruthless the other day, and he said that he will forgive his woman for giving her cheese clap, but he's not going to forgive his woman if she talks back. So
no, if she walks in, listen. If she walks in, watching my woman get her cheese clap, everything must die. But I'm gonna say this, right? I'm not trying to promote that. But what I am saying is this: everybody has a plan until they get punched in the mouth. And I'm not sitting here to try to tell men what they're supposed to do, what they can't do in the situation. But what I am saying is, I do believe that we as men can come together and say, we do have more support for each other in these things, instead of saying, hey, just man up. Sometimes we need to have conversations to get through this. Sometimes men need to jump on other men's back and we can chill and learn.
Hold
on.
Question real quick.
Wait, whoa, whoa. Pause, man.
Yeah, hold on. Let me let Trucker get in there and then Sway. Hold on real quick. Let me let Trucker get in there, and Jayla, you got after Trucker, and then we'll open it up. Go ahead. Sway, you got after Trucker, and Jayla, you got after that.
So listen, bro. We understand what you're saying, but what we're basically saying, all the men are saying, is that y'all be losing y'all damn minds. Y'all so invested into that woman instead of to yourself. That's why when y'all lose out or she go her own way, y'all can't deal with that shit. You get what I'm saying? Like, take some time out for yourself. Learn to just deal with that shit. Yeah, you may cry once or twice. You know what I'm saying? Get it off your chest and move the hell on. Do better. Not be the more like Sharon said, the more you stagnant and you living in that shit. Well, she got a new nigga, so I'm pissed off and trying to cause chaos. The nigga, the more you gonna stay in that shit till you like 40 or 50 years old. So why can't you go out, do your homework, get yourself together, get your mind right, and all that other bullshit, and you know what I'm saying, move forward and find something better. Because at the end of the day, karma comes back. You know what I'm saying? Like the woman that made me suffer for my kids, you know what I'm saying? She got into a relationship right after we separated, right? Then she got proposed, right? I ain't tripping about that shit. My dad called me on the phone like, "Hey, yo, son, you saw she got a ring on the finger." I was like, "Yeah, I don't give a damn." Guess what? She not even with that nigga no more. So she a baby mama to that nigga.
Damn.
You
That's crazy. That's crazy. Hold on.
But hold on, wasn't that was my point? It's not you, bro. So stop blaming yourself.
One mic. Right. No one's blaming themselves though.
Hey,
only
Chucky,
blame.
yo.
One mic.
In order,
Chuck, one mic.
wait.
Hold on, Chuck.
Before you say what you say, I only blame myself because I had to put the work in to change to be who I am today. And the first start of that shit is to go back to all of it from the beginning, so you can understand what's happening. This, that, and the third. Because unfortunately, a lot of people don't do that. So that's why I said at the end of the day, I'm pissed off. I'm more pissed off at myself for choosing that woman, because in reality, she should have never been chosen. That's the reality. She should have never been chosen, but it happened, and I can't. But I don't have to deal with it again. Which I did. I made sure I didn't have to deal with that shit.
Put a period, goddamn.
All right, go ahead. We got you. Go ahead, Sharon, you got it. Hold on.
Hey, Chucky, yeah, I just wanted to say something real quick. That hey, listen, my first kid, I went to her wedding. We were all healed, brother. Like, it's all good. Like, y'all don't need to be dwelling in, oh my God, somebody did something wrong to me. Hey, look, this all happened today. When I went to North Carolina a couple years ago, I spent the night at that woman's house. It's all good. It's no need to be beefing with each other. We grown.
Listen, we don't need to know nothing about your scandalous clap cheek. So
wait, hold on, pause. We're not.
Hey, I ain't do nothing scandalous, goddammit.
All right. Hold on, yo, Sway. What say you, Sway? You was trying to get in there.
No, I mean, I guess it's a general question to the panel, yes or no, but it was more so, I guess, directed to Ruthless.
Hold on, Sway. I need yours and Ruthless $5 though. I do need that. I do need both of y'all $5. I appreciate y'all. Thank you
I
very
gotta
much.
get off my phone.
Okay, go ahead. You got it.
Man, Sway ain't been here for a year. Get out of here.
Hold on, trucker. Hush, unless you're gonna pay it for him. Relax. Go ahead, Sway. You got it. Unless you're gonna pay it for him, relax, trucker. Go ahead, Sway.
You fucking up the money.
Damn, Sway. Come on.
I did that on purpose.
You want to send me $10? Go ahead, bro. Jesus.
What did I say? No, I was a general question. Do you think most relationships, from the man's perspective, in your relationships, do you think most of them failed based on decisions or based on things that was out of your control? Or do you think you could have done something differently that probably could have prolonged it or kept it, to this day?
That's a good question. Who are you asking that to, Sway?
I asked that generally, but I wanted to direct that to Ruthless.
Can you say it again?
Yes or no.
Thank you, Ruthless.
Can you ask the question again, please?
Thank you, Ruthless, by the way. I appreciate you, bro.
I was saying, generally speaking, in your relationship, from a man's perspective, do you think most of them failed based on decisions or factors that was out of your control, or you could have done something differently that could prolong them or kept them together to this day?
That's hard to quantify.
Or even have a healthy after effect, like it, you know what I mean, getting over faster, or maybe not as much bitterness. Decisions could have been done differently.
So in my anecdotal experience, that's what I could have done. And largely, a lot of the problems that were occurring in that relationship had everything to do with her emotional instability and her irresponsible behavior and drinking and all that stuff made it impossible. So yeah, I definitely have to give her a lot of responsibility on that. Where I do hold myself accountable though is I should have got rid of her sooner. But hey, that's about it. So yeah, typically I am a guy who gives leeway because I want to see what you're made up when you're having a good time and what you're made up like when you're having a bad time. I kind of try to balance out are you somebody I can deal with long term, or do I keep it short term? So yeah, I'm not taking the blame for her irresponsible behavior, nor am I taking the blame for her emotional instability, because everything about that internal conflict had everything to do with her and nothing to do with me.
So do you think there was anything that you could have done a little bit different to have a better outcome at all? There was nothing that you could have did to have a better outcome at all?
No, because this is what this is I learned a lot from this particular situation is when someone is having internal conflict, it's really nothing I can do. Now I tried everything possible.
So
everything possible to communicate, and I was very forward in the way I felt. So I think I stuck up for myself. I didn't just let it go, and it still didn't. She still didn't comply, and it helped me to understand that women, when their emotion, they invest so much in their emotions. Once those emotions runs to where they run, there's nothing you or I can do about it.
Well, how about not letting it get there in the first place? I don't know. When I think about it, I think one, you said you kind of come into it with, what did you? I don't know. I will say like loosely, or you give people not necessarily benefit of the doubt, but you kind of let them be themselves. And you don't have full standards. Like I'm trying to remember the exact words you use, but I just thought to myself, like, I would come with it as stern as possible in terms of my standards and wants and needs as a man and what you're going to have to subscribe to at the beginning, rather than thinking I'm going to let her be herself and then you kind of see where it goes. And then later on, I'm going to invoke standards and rules or my own opinions and shit like that. Like, nah, I'm going to say that at the beginning. And if you with it, you with it. And then I'll see how congruent you are from your words and your actions. And then from there, that'll allow me to dictate if I should marry you or give you a child or not. But it seems like, based off what you said, you did it backwards. And so when I asked you if you could have done anything differently, that's my initial thought, that you could have done differently, outside of saying I could have chose better or got rid of her earlier. Or even when you mentioned that she became emotionally unstable, that means at one point she wasn't that. And so I feel, even in myself and my relationship in real time, I find myself with these two decisions. Either I'm going to spaz out how I really want to and just don't give a fuck, or I'm going to handle it. No, sorry, I said it again. Or I'm going to handle it how I know it should be handled, check my ego, and know if I talk to her this way, it's not going to portray what I need her to understand. If I talk to her a certain way, it may portray it, it may not. However, I have the leg to stand on in the conversation as being the adult that's trying to resolve this. I brought this up with my girl before, and I don't think most people do when they're arguing with their, well, at least most men, is bring it to attention the reason why you're even arguing in the first place. If we're not arguing to stay together, to find out how to be together forever, then why are we arguing? We might as well just break up now. If this argument isn't to try to somehow prolong this and us to figure out how we're going to, make this work, I don't see the point of us arguing anymore. We might as well. So, and every time, I've probably said that maybe once or twice out of the 4 years, but every time I've said that, it kind of checks the whole argument and brings it back to a level of understanding. And I just think communication is probably key.
Calvin
and
Cook.
The fact that men, proclaim themselves as leaders, I think that's probably one form of accountability, is your form of communication and being able to regulate, your woman's emotions to an extent.
Only men are accountable, and now we have to regulate emotions. Which I don't disagree with your approach to conversations. Like, yeah, you have to be a little bit more delicate. But this is why I asked the question. Well, this is why I made the comment about stop blaming yourself for everything. Because I'm hearing the commonality, like dudes are up against the wall that they didn't do.
Yeah,
but fam, like, my thing is that. Can y'all hear me? Could y'all hear me while I was talking just now?
I can hear you now.
Yo, I just think, my thing is that, Hood, the issue that I have is that it's always been a challenge. It's always been an obstacle, and women have always had their little things. I've seen 60s interviews with men and women having these same conversations. I've seen 70s interviews with men and women that look like it's having these same conversations into the 80s, into the 90s. It's not like women all of a sudden have changed. They're still the same women inside. So my thing is, yes, technology has changed. Yes, things are faster paced. Yes, this and that. However, the people are still basically wired the same. So it's like, why complain instead of getting what you need to get and doing what you need to do, it's in your best interest. Go ahead, Sharon.
Oh, so
yes, it's
you got
absolutely
Sharon?
in your best
Yeah,
interest.
yeah, Sharon.
And the reality is that if men want relationships to get back into a more productive situation, they're gonna have to go outside and be better social men. You cannot just keep trying to hit 100 DMs and say, "Oh, I finally got one." No, you need to go outside and speak and learn how to communicate with a woman, because a lot of men, they cannot communicate with another human being, period, unless it's online. They don't even understand the different social cues because they spend so much time communicating with avatars that they don't even understand that communication is probably like 70-80% nonverbal. You got to see how she's moving, crossing her arms, crossing her legs, flipping her ear, and all these other social cues that you are going to get for physically communicating with a woman to understand what type of woman she possibly is.
So to respond to that, Izzy, we are in the age of information. Yeah, women were black a certain way in the back in the day, but we really didn't understand it fully. But now that these conversations have grown and information based, we do have a better barometer on the source of the problems that happens in these relationships. And typically, when it comes to the woman, we're learning that she's very emotionally unstable a lot of times. And I do believe the happy wife, happy life sentiment is a dominating factor why that relationship is lasting, our marriage. So
no.
If we want to honestly believe that it's all on the man for the woman to uphold her end of the bargain, then you're fighting a losing battle.
That's not what we're saying. I don't know why you're hearing that. That's not at all what we're saying. You can't control anybody else is what we're trying to tell you. So it's not on you. Hold on. It's not on
Sharon.
No, but he's not nobody up here. Let me just tell you, Rufus. Nobody, hold on, Rufus.
Yeah.
Nobody up here is saying that we have to make a woman do anything or a woman we could regulate her, or nobody's saying that. What we're saying is that, it's up to you how you deal with that and what you choose to do based upon that, and to find a woman that's most compatible with you so that it don't be that much problem or that much issue. That's what we're saying.
Essentially, I mean, my thought process is that, okay, if you can get emotionally,
we need to do this, we need to do no.
Ruthless.
That's what I was talking.
Ruthless is if the baseline of woman you're dealing with doesn't necessarily have any emotional trauma, has her father there and all this, you think at some point in a relationship she's still not going to get emotional, and you're going to have to find a way to calm and defuse the situation. You can control people's emotions even outside of your relationship. There are multiple tactics that you can think of and take into account, and if they work, why not do them? If the goal is to be with this person for a lifetime, like I said, if your goal ain't to be with that person for a lifetime, then screw it. Don't sit there and try to help and regulate or do what you can do to make the situation work for you. But all I'm telling you is that there are things you can do as a man to figure out to help you within these situations. If you choose not to, then don't. But I'm understanding that regardless of the woman I get, there's going to be a time in our relationship that she's going to be frustrated or interpreting what I've said or done, or whatever the case may be. We're going to come to an argument, and as the man, I'm taking the accountability of being the more rational, logical one to control the conversation that we can find a resolution, rather than ending it in a heated, agree to disagree, and that builds resentment.
But you have to also understand that women are combative. So yeah, even though
men are combative.
Wait, hold on, Sway. Let him talk. Sway.
So I'm not saying that we're not. What I'm saying is, you just talked about how we need to be leaders and be able to control the conversation, as if women aren't combative and have their own opinions and the things that they believe in and their ideologies. So
yeah,
I 100% don't agree with man control. All you can do, really, see, this is what men learn quickly. Emotions and logic don't go together. So when a lot of these emotional responses happen, when we try to bring in solutions, like, for example, you walk in the bathroom, your wife's crying. You're like, "Hey, baby, why are you crying?" She said, "My weight. I want to lose weight. I'm just feeling so fat and da-da-da." Now, The logical and reasonable thing to say, is, hey, baby, the gym right down the street. Let's go. You can't say that, though. You
Let
can't.
me ask you, Ruthless.
Wait, hold on. Let him finish. One mic. 'Cause I need to read. I need to welcome some people.
Because in the past, when you did say that, it created a hostile environment. So what I am saying is, you cannot. You have to basically go along to get along for this to. She got to come up with the idea that she needs to go to the gym. Because if you
hold on,
if you make that assertion, if you make that assertion, she would deem you as attacking her, and it can go bad. So I don't agree with a man controlling the conversation. I just think the best way for these marriages to work and how they work is happy wife, happy life.
No, that's the bullshit. So let me just do this. Hold on real quick. Shout out to my man Abi Wadi. What's up? He said true story is. Shout out to Nidish. Nidish was in the building. What's up, Nidish? What happened to Nidish? Someone said something happened to Nidish. He said, yes, people on people. I love to come on. Shout out to OG Sigma. What's up? I'm with is 1,000%, 100%. Shout out to OG Sigma. What's up, man? Truth said that's the fact is, and they don't give a damn. Shout out to Abi Wadi. He said, but guess what my mama said. The child needs to be with the mother because if my daddy didn't pay her child support, he couldn't see us. Shit is really sad. But we as men, can't say shit about it. Yo, shout out to Big Bad Bull. He was in here playing the violins. What's up, Big Bad Bull? Yo, Face Fact said, if my dad was named Sharon, I wouldn't. Damn, come on, man. Sharon, I wouldn't talk to me. Shout out to Miss Bella. What's up, Miss Bella? The MNF and Truth. What's up, the MNF and Truth? What's going on, D-Rock? Sucker Free, 3223 says, salute to you. Hey, Bridget. Bridget said, wherever you go, there you are. That's the damn fact. Quantavis Lamont said, the $5 is used to be aware of your chosen words. That's a fact. That's a fact. Thank you, Quantavis. What's up? American Tradesman said, is he speaking my mentality? Yeah, we think a lot. Shout out to Tim KC said, boo-hoo. What's up, Empress Carmen? How you doing, sis? Long time no see. Good to see you.
Hey.
What's up, Empress Carmen? How them babies doing? Tato Mills said, Sharon need to take notes. All right, y'all got it. I just wanted to I think some more people. Go ahead.
I just get out on this conversation as well. So can I go? I guess it's Sway Trucker than me. Is that fine?
No, but it's Trucker Sway than you. Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead,
Yeah, I can't follow up with my. All right.
Yeah, hold on.
My bad. Come on. So, bruh, are you really just talking about yourself that you can't be yourself to talk to your woman? Is that what you're doing?
No, we're talking in a general sentiment.
So, okay. So, why would you choose a woman that you got to tippy toe around?
I believe this is 100% of all women that go. These emotional outbursts are common amongst women, and this is what men figure out quickly.
Bro. So
hold on, let Trucker finish real quick, and then you got it this way. Go ahead, Trucker, finish.
Go ahead, Sway, because go ahead. I just want to know.
I had a question at first. One, I'll go ahead and just say it, man. Do you think women, just as in general, regardless, they can't be manipulated?
Yeah, they can be manipulated.
Okay, so you can't manipulate them for the good to do what you need them to do?
Bingo.
Sometimes.
So it's.
Well, hold on, y'all. Hold on. With the
I think that just kind of shows that there are things you can do to either prevent things from happening or to, amend things that are currently happening. But even, like I said, I don't necessarily like bring myself up because they will use me as an exception to the rule. But just based on my real life, communicating with the women y'all say are the most, combative, disagreeable, you would say are feminists, whatever. When I speak to them, I'm able to get them to understand and be able to have I guess, not such a contentious conversation when I'm speaking about the male perspective or disagreeing with their point of views or holding them accountable. Even if they don't like what I say, they never go to a point of level of disrespect, generally speaking. And so I'm just thinking in real time that there are things you can do to communicate differently to get the outcomes you want, but you're just choosing not to see it that way, even if I pointed you in the right direction. Like I can only, lead a horse to water, but I can't force you to drink it. And when I bring up examples of like police or the FBI or anybody just trained tactically to manipulate or communicate a certain way. Congressman, spokesperson, anybody that's in a public speaking, businessman, whatever, they know there's a form and a language and a science of communication that can allow you to get you the outcomes you want with people. But if you're not willing to look at it that way or go that deep because you think it's too much work or you shouldn't have to because a woman should be able to control her emotions, then like I said earlier, not understanding the things you can't control and being naive to them is also a detriment to you if you're just not going to focus on the things you can't control. You gotta be able to do both. You gotta understand the things you can't and focus on the things you can't control.
I think it's hilarious that you mentioned like the FBI.
It's not your
Oh,
turn
yeah.
yet.
I'm gonna get in there. Go ahead.
So I want to say this about the whole, if you see a woman in the bathroom crying and all these things, I think it's very weird because at the same time when we have conversations, in this very conversation, we are telling you as a man, hey, you need to get over it and do what you got to do. You have pushback. And for some reason, you need to, I guess, get in your feminine energy because you saying that females are the combative ones. So I guess because you are feeling combative today, you must be in your female energy. It doesn't make sense when you hear yourselves talk. If y'all really listen to yourselves communicate, maybe you will start to realize how much of a BICTH you are acting. I think a lot of y'all men need to really listen to yourself communicate. Please,
man, you get your laugh knocked out.
I'm not calling y'all no BITCH. And I also understand if you do. My thing is ruthless is CYA. Cover your own. Hey, if you do everything that you.
Hey man, Timmy, come on, man, come on with the F-bombs, y'all. Come on, brother. No, ruthless. I know, but you call him back a bitch, man. Come on, man. He spelled it too. But anyway, you spelled it ruthless. Please send me that.
I'm not. All I want to say, ruthless, at the end of the day, bro. All I'm saying is be aware of the things you can control, and if there are things you can find, do them. But if you run out of options of all the things you can do in your control, I'm also understanding that you're not going to necessarily be there with an unruly, vindictive B word. You know what I mean? But throughout that process, if you did things to make that happen, obviously take your accountability.
Conservative is next.
Here's the thing, Sway. We do not have to dismiss the fact that women are moving in a very assertive and aggressive manner in today's society. They have an ego. They feel that they have a voice that needs to be heard. They feel that they can say what they want when they want. They are combative. They're very vulgar when they say it. So we got to understand that not only are they these things, they're also protected by the 911 emergency call and the simps and the betas out here, right? So we do get it, right? That I understand all this motherfucking talking we gotta do to try to speak. All right, I owe them $10 now. Damn.
Yeah, man, come on, send me that.
I
Come
make
on,
the money,
man.
Reese. You come get your money.
I know, but like, I don't want to get money like that. The point of putting the bounty up, the $5 up, is to get y'all not to do it, not to encourage y'all to do it, and then pay me.
I'm gonna pay you. So what I'm saying is this: we got to act like these women don't understand that if they need to get their man out the way to replace him for whatever reason it may be, they can make that call. And if he doesn't comply, they can call 911 or their brothers or whoever to rectify this stuff. And now it's going to be a war. So we don't be up here acting like women just walking around here and we're just, oh, baby, and shit. Like, oh, hey, no. These women are acting masculine. They are unruly. And he's helping.
Hold on, y'all, because Hoodservative is next. Y'all just skipped over Hoodservative. Hoodservative. All right, Hoodservative, go ahead. And Trucker, you're after Hoodservative. Trucker, you're after Hoodservative. Please mute. Go ahead, Hoodservative. Got it. Rogue C, wave in the back so I know it's you. I'm Ruthless, pay me my money, please.
I think it was hilarious that we essentially devolved the conversation into learning how to solve a Rubik's Cube. Which I get. You have to have a delicate nature sometimes talking to women because women are men, and I'm not going to deliver it to a woman with the same way I would deliver it to a man if I want to have the desired effect. I get that. But it's a weird thing of, this is why I asked the question and pointed out earlier, why do we always talk as if the man is the ultimate problem and ultimately to blame there? Because when you hear guys talk, It's not that they have made a bunch of decisions that made the relationship impossible or even made co-parenting impossible. It's the other party. But the conversation is always these men, these men, these men. And then the law that you live under is literally written as if you are the problem. And my whole point is, I just don't want to keep talking to you guys like you're the problem. Maybe you're not perfect, but I don't think you're ultimately the blame here. That's just my whole point. And I don't think you have to try to solve a Rubik's Cubes of emotions to somehow have a good day with a chick. Like, that's crazy talk.
Yo, but hold on. Thank you, Sway. Thank you, Ruthless. I appreciate it. Go ahead, Sway. You got it.
I would agree with you, and I understand the point of view you're coming from, especially off of today's conversation. But ultimately, the only person you can really subscribe that rhetoric to is probably Sharon. But everyone else here has had their talking points and gripes, in a sense, with women in their real life or on these panels, and have exposed certain discomforts that they had. But yeah, I mean, ultimately, you can't necessarily just blame the woman. I ultimately blame both parties. If one side ain't coming to it, then there's no solution. It has to be both sides. Even if the man ain't trying or the woman ain't trying, that relationship is destined to fail, regardless of how much you try. They don't want to come. They don't want to come with you. It is what it is. So I understand that perspective. I'm just saying, if I'm speaking to men on failed relationships and I'm only going to speak to them on what they can do. I'm not necessarily going to sit here and just talk about their women, the whole time. But if they want to say, hey, she was like this, she was like that, and then I would go to, was she like that when you met her, or was there things stuff? We will go down that conversation. But for the most part, I'm just trying to take accountability for what you can do. And I think that's what the conversation was about.
Right. It is, and it's not.
Well, because I think accountability is always
Hood. 1 second. It is, Sway, and it's not about blaming men, Hood. It's just saying, listen, there is a way that you can think and you could have a mentality that's going to serve you as a man and work for you. And then there's another way that's going to not serve you and is going to make your life hard. And that's all we're really saying. We're not blaming men for a daggone thing. We even let you know the stories to let you know that we can relate and we understand. We're not people that are just talking off the hip that haven't experienced these things. We have experienced these things as grown-ass men, and we understand where you're coming from. We're just telling you as brothers who's been through it and understand that if we thought like that, that didn't help us. But when we started to have a more basic perspective about what we could do for ourselves, then things started to open up more for us. That's all that we're saying.
Yeah,
Can I get in there real quick?
Hold on real quick. Let me let Sharon get in there first, and Rogue, you after Sharon.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Sway, real fast.
And I want to say that 2 seconds, Sharon. My example, Hood, my fault, Sharon. My example literally was to point out how I held not only my girl, her sisters, but also her mom accountable for their relationship with their father and her husband. Like I literally did this in real time. That was my example. I didn't have a real life example where my vindictive or failed relationships. I've only had 2 relationships in my life because I'm very picky. But yeah, anyways, go ahead, Sharon.
And I want to say that I find it interesting that men be the main ones that cannot deal with harsh reality sometimes. Like if it's okay for you to be harsh with a woman, then I should be able to be harsh with any man that I'm having a conversation with and tell him like, hey, this is what you need to do. I shouldn't have to sugarcoat it. I shouldn't have to coddle to you. I shouldn't have to talk to you nice or any of those things. I should be able to say, hey, this is where you are missing. This is how I see it happening. Give the example why I see it that way. And then it's up to you to choose if you understand the advice or not. But I shouldn't have to sugarcoat it. It's crazy.
Yo, go ahead, Rogue C, and then Trucker. Yeah.
Hi, just because I was told I need to show some natural hair on your platform real quick, please. Hi, everyone. Hello.
Hey, okay, great.
But what I want to start with, Trucker, Sharon.
You broke out.
Can y'all
You
hear
broke
me?
out. Yeah, we can hear you now. You broke
Hold
up.
on. Hold on.
Trucker Sharon.
Yeah, we heard Trucker Sharon was the last thing we heard.
Hello.
Yeah, you sound a little choppy. You were sounding better before.
I think you gotta go back on camera.
Yeah, you was sounding better before.
Am I better? I got a call. That's why.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, you sound good. Go ahead.
Sorry. So Izzy, Sharon, Trucker, Hood. I'll even throw you in there. Ruthless, you and I have had, conversations and exchanges. What is this whole situation of women being unruly? Izzy, Sharon, Trucker, do you think a woman like me has been unruly to y'all since y'all know me?
Not at all. No, I'll give you a compliment. So yeah,
Well,
not at all.
Izzy, even with our pushback.
Well, I would say that I see that you have the potentiality to be unruly if you want
You
to.
tell me I'm ratchet adjacent. Izzy.
Yeah, you are ratchet adjacent. So as my little sis, I will be honest with you. You are definitely ratchet adjacent, and you do have the ability to turn up if you want to. But for the most part, you do try to be on your best behavior. But I know.
Rogue. I'm not calling you unruly. Remember when you first came up and we were having that whole exchange about want versus need. It's not that you're unruly. It's that you have enough under you now that you can be subversive and deceptive. And if I listen to you, we're both going to suffer. But you're only going to blame me for when it goes bad.
Okay, so the reason why I ask this is because, to Ruthless's point, women have a voice. I'm so sorry if you all don't like it. God gave us vocal cords, so we're allowed to talk. Now, with that being said, if you surround yourself with certain women, and Ruthless, no shade here. When you talk about women, you talk about the most stereotypical women. It sounds like you talk about women you see on TV. No one in real life. You're talking about women crying because they're fat. That's not a thing. We might get emotional, yes. We might be PMSing, hormonal, yes. But no one is, if you tell us to go to the gym and you're our man, we're not about to just blow up on you. Now, my second point is when it comes down to why men, I guess, get the short end of the stick when it comes down to the blame game, that is what happens when you guys are the leaders. The leader bears the brunt of most of it.
Well, we're not the leaders, though.
Okay. Despite the fact that we live in a
Speak for yourself.
patriarchal
I'm the leader of
society.
my household.
Speak for yourself.
And see, that's the whole point. If you're not a leader, that's fine. Because again, when I can go over to Sharon's, I can go over to Izzy's, I can talk to Trucker. I know these men are leaders. That's why I can give them the respect of such. Now, if you're not getting respect from women, no offense, Hood, no offense, Ruthless, y'all might need to check and see what's going on with y'all.
Oh, wait.
See, Izzy, you see why I have to be ratchet adjacent with you.
Oh,
I'm gonna say this
told
though.
y'all,
I mean,
check yourself. No, let's stop.
I guess I understand in the confines of a workspace because there's a lot of men that just don't want to be in leadership positions. They don't want to have to oversee a job site or everybody and be responsible for moving pieces that, throughout the day that they can't control. But I guess that can apply in a household. Nope, a man just can never be a leader in his household and have a sufficient relationship and get respected.
What you mean?
Well, it just seems like, they can opt out of that in the workplace because, they may not have the choice. But it seems in a relationship, a man has to, generally speaking, be the leader of his household to get respected and, get the most optimal relationship he can desire. But
do you think there's something wrong with that? Are you saying that? Do you think there's something wrong with that, or are you just saying?
I don't know. I mean, I want to be understanding to men as like that just don't feel, because in the workplace I can understand there's a lot of dumb motherfuckers doing crazy.
There you go with that bombs again. Jesus Christ!
It'd be a lot of moving pieces.
Hold on, real quick, Hood. Don't talk over him. Yeah, I got you. Okay, go ahead.
It's just be a lot of moving pieces that I understand that they brain capacity. Not every man has the brain capacity to handle all that and level of leadership to be able to delegate and control and articulate themselves to that extent. So if I want to be understanding that men aren't just robots and they all got to meet to this same level of manliness in a sense to get respect in their home, then yeah, I would be able to say that they don't necessarily have to be the head honcho leader in a household to still garner respect. And women are asking for a voice, and there are men that are saying, hey, I don't want to be I'm not the best, or I necessarily don't want to be the head leader. I just don't want to be held responsible like I am. If you want to be a leader, cool, but also take some level of responsibility. I think that's what these men are saying. They're not. Go ahead.
I would love to answer that one, but I know Hood is going to talk, so I want to talk after Hood.
Yeah, you can't tell me that you go to school and you get educated so that you can live independently. Christ's sake, they want to vote, which means they're literally bending the will of the government toward their end against you. And not only that, yeah, you have a voice. You get to say no. If you want to pull the pin on this grenade at any moment and blow the whole thing up, that is totally in your power. Nothing I can do to stop you. I just got to roll with the punches and heal up from a grenade wound. But you call me the leader. You call me the leader. That's the gaslight. That's the thing that you tell me to lull me into a situation of comfort and unawareness. And so I can go on pretending like, oh, yeah, I'm the man and everything's great. And then one day you decide to pull a pin on this grenade. How is that leadership when you just get to blow it up whenever you decide and I got to just deal with it?
Take his microphone and usher him out. Take his microphone and usher him out.
Because at the
We sick and tired of that nigga there. We sick and tired.
I need some clips. I need some clips, by the way.
All right, tell me which one you need. Hey, but come on, man. Like, God, dog, brother. Wait, fantastic. Get him, fantastic. Brother.
Are you going to answer?
Brother.
Bro, we've been going this.
Are you really going to answer for the woman, bro? What's going on here?
No, I'm not answering for no woman. Sharon was trying to speak. Go ahead, Sharon. Are you answering for the woman, Sharon?
Yeah, I wanted to talk towards what Sway was saying. I believe majority of men can have fruitful relationships without being the leader of their household. And the way how that happens is when they just be literally partners and they just be, hey, can we do this together? And they just have conversations with each other. And I think that's probably the most fruitful relationship. Most human beings is not equipped to take the leadership role in a relationship. That's a man or a woman. Usually the leadership role comes when something drastic happens and one has to take over the leadership role. But in reality, majority of people are working with they people. They are working with their wives, they're working with their husbands, and they want to move the family together as a unit. So I don't know why is it so difficult for the woman to be a leader and the men to be a leader at the same time?
Because we don't deserve a voice, Sharon. That's why.
I guess
We're
it
just supposed
usually,
to sit down
so
and
to answer that, Sharon,
the brain.
usually it's dictated by who has the final say in decision making.
Right, and so I'm glad that you said that part, and I just want to answer that. And I think the final say comes from what is the outcome that you want to have. It should not be dictated by me. It should not be dictated by her or my children. It should be dictated by the outcome which we are trying to accomplish. That's
Check
what.
But Sharon, why can't we be partners, especially in a relationship?
No, whoa, partner, whoa, no partners. We ain't not partners. We
But I'm saying
companions. We
in a
not
household.
partners. No.
But I'm saying in a household.
There's a problem with the who to be
Hold
involved.
on, Ruthless. She asked Sharon. I was just ad-libbing. Go ahead, Sharon. Ask the question.
Well, I was just gonna say when it comes down to the household, based off of what Sharon was saying.
She's trying to ask a question to Sharon. Go ahead.
You know, I'm just not understanding why it does seem like an issue, because I'm hearing these men on the panels who don't see women as anything but subordinates to them. So that's why they keep taking it as they're the victim, because they have to see us as liabilities. If they actually saw women as, especially the women that they're choosing, as somewhat on an even playing field with them, do you feel like they would have all these complaints?
No, the issue that they're having is that they don't have no plan for their woman. Right. And so when the women start having questions, they can't answer it. And then that's when they start to feel less as of whatever that ego. They are very ego driven. But when a woman start asking them questions, they feel like that woman is being unruly and bucking up. But in reality, he just doesn't have the answers. And so now, therefore, she don't know what she's talking about. And so therefore, now we start to argue, and so on and so forth. So if the man actually has a plan, he has no problem answering questions. He has no problem with leading her because he has a plan. And so the more questions he asks, the clearer the plan should be. And once the plan gets clear, the man and the woman, they get on a non-argumentative playing field because they know the outcome that they are trying to reach. So if I'm only making $500 a week and everybody sees where the money's going, it's going this portion, that woman most likely is not going to be beefing with you because she know what is the plan and where we are going. We're not going to be staying this, whatever that is, whatever your outcome is. And that is the issue most men have.
Well, yeah, but yeah. So let me hold on real quick. Bruce, I got you. You next. So I just want to address that. Yeah, we're not partners, right? Partners is kind of like this notion that there could be a 50-50 business arrangement. There's no such thing as 50-50. There's no such thing as partners. We companions, and we work together. It's a captain, co-captain, a pilot, co-pilot situation. Like at the end of the day, there has to be a head, there has to be a leader. And if I'm in this situation, it gotta be me. I'm sorry. It is what it is. So at the end
I got
of the
a comment
day,
on that too, bro.
Hold on real quick. Let me just finish. So at the end of the day, my thing is this. Do I consult with my lady and does she have a voice? Absolutely. She doesn't have to run anything because I'm the one that's gonna take the weight of the responsibility of everything. If it goes right, then it's our win. If it goes wrong, it's my loss. I'm gonna be the one to take it on for myself. So that's the reason why it's not a partnership, because that means that you gotta take the same weight and the same brunt that I take. And as a man, I'm gonna shield you from that. And I'm not going to let you take on any weight or any brunt. I'm going to take it all because my shoulders are built for that, right? So at the end of the day, that's the price of you being the co-pilot, which it shouldn't be because I don't look at you as less than me. I don't look at you as nothing. I look at you as somebody. I look at you as special because you're riding with me, but we ain't partners. I got to take it. The win is ours and the losses are mine. And I take it on my shoulders and I take it to the crib. That's
I think they were speaking to what the example I was presenting, but
Are you gonna skip
based
me,
off
Ed?
of what you said,
I'm sorry, I didn't skip you.
Based off what you said, Izzy, to answer my question means that no men can never not be leaders in a relationship. They have to be the leader in their relationship for it to be a fruitful, productive relationship.
Yes, I agree with I think that the men has to be the leader, but that means that they're capable. That means that they're capable and they are able to be a good leader. They have to be a good leader. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't think just any man, just because they're a man, that means they're a leader. I don't think that.
That's what I was saying is like in the workplace, there are a lot of men that don't want to be leaders. One, because they don't have the mental capability. They don't want to take on the burden. They don't want to take on the stress, stuff like, you know what I mean? And then we're telling these same men when they go home in a relationship, they now have to be a leader. When they opt out of it for the rest of the day, and then somehow they got to be a leader and then be good at it, when naturally they know they probably not, and they're not good at it, nor can they be. And they don't want to
it's like one of the things. It's like, hold on. It's like one of those things, though. It's like one of those things, Sway. If they don't want to be a leader, which I know a lot of young men kind of don't. If they don't want to, younger men seems like, if they don't want to be a leader, that's fine. But they got to understand that the likelihood of their woman respecting them having to take on all that responsibility and all that brunt is going to be slim and none. That's just what's going to take. It's not even about the money. It's about the fact that, she want a man to be able to protect her and to be able to shield her from the world. Like you know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be hard for her to respect. Let me let Ruthless get in.
You after Ruthless.
Yeah, you after Ruthless.
Oh, here's the deal, right? This is the problem I have with Sharon talking about a man could be the boss, a woman could be the boss. No, it's only one boss. That way we can have one vision, one plan. Now, to Izzy point, I do agree. If my wife has something she wants to bring to the table and share with me, and as long as she understands that my discretion, we got a deal. But there is no equal share. There's no partnership. That is all due to failure, right? But I will say this, though. I will say this to be fair. I will say there are some men who need to be led by women. There are some men who have to be led by women. There are a segment of men like Sharon, right? So we do have to.
That's what it's done.
So we do understand it. And listen, Listen,
Sharon ain't led by his woman.
if,
Don't let him fool you.
if
Sharon is
your
not led
woman
by.
is in your household, your house husband material, hey, I'm not going to, hey, do you, boo boo, right? That's what you're going to call it, right? So, all we as men, we do have to understand we're not a monolith. So every man, when they meet a woman, don't look for her to be leader. Sometimes they look to be led. So that's understandable. So at the easy point, when she talk shit to you and tell you talk bad to you, nigga, get the car keys. Go get the car keys. Nigga, don't say nothing back. I'm done.
I don't know, Angry Man. Shout out to AM. If you more than welcome to come up, Angry Man. Yo, go ahead, Hood Conservative. He said, "What the hell is Ruthless talking about? We don't need no prison logic." I do agree about Sharon though.
Izzy, can I go after her?
Shout out to AM. Yeah, after. Well, I think Sharon was after Hood. You could go after Sharon. Yeah. Hey,
Well,
thank
I
you,
have some
Angry Man.
bad
Appreciate it.
news.
A couple
Well, I
of
have some
things. A
bad
couple
news.
of
There's
things.
no leader in the black community. Sorry.
Come on, Jalen. Come on, buddy. Go ahead, Hood.
Well,
A couple of things. One for the average man, like you're not a manager, you're not a supervisor. Most guys don't get to be in charge of all that much. Most guys are cogs in the wheel, and the whole thing of leadership. Most guys don't really get to exercise any meaningful leadership unless they become part of a family. Then you get to have children and a woman, and then you get to make decisions that matter. But that's the average guy, right? That's why your home is your castle, because you're not really a king, but every man's home is his castle. That's how that plays out. Now, in terms of leadership, the reason why I immediately rejected it is not that I don't believe in the scheme. A man is supposed to be the leader, right? Of course, it makes sense. Most of us up here would agree with that. My problem is that when Roe brought it up, I've come to realize that most women use it as leverage, but they don't actually believe in it. So when you sell me this role of leadership, you're only selling it to me for your personal benefit. And that's why when the conversation shifted, it immediately went to Rogue defending partnership because that's what she really wants. She wants partnership. Leadership is not what they're really after. They sell you that so you can perform at a high level because that's what it is to be the leader, right? You got to bear the burden because you got them shoulders, right, Izzy? But that's the gaslight. She just wants to use your shoulders. You're not actually the leader. Because again, the minute she gets a little attitudey, pull the pin on the grenade, and what's your leadership now?
It's
Nothing.
everything because it's everything because guess what? It's my crib. It's my I got my own shit. So I'm not dependent on her for anything. Like at the end of the day, see, this is the part this is the quiet part out loud. When you got your own shit and you're not dependent on that woman for anything, and you are self-sufficient and you take care of your own shit, then whether she goes or whether she stays, it's just kind of a plus or a minus. It just depends. It doesn't matter one way or another at the end of the day. And that's why I'm trying to get at in a polite way. Like, because all of this shit is mine, and because at the end of the day, I'm gonna have to live regardless whether she's here or not. I'm gonna have to do me whether she's here or not. Like, if she's here, if she's following and we're working together, it's cool and it's great. If she's on some rogue shit, not rogue C, but on some rogue shit, then hey, it ain't great. And she gotta go. Period. I'm just saying. That's just me. But go ahead, Sharon. What would you like to say, bro?
Let me get after Sharon.
You got after Rogue C. Rogue C has to ask for Sharon. You got after Rogue C.
And so, like, I just want to reiterate what I was saying earlier, that it's okay if majority men do not want to be the leader in a household. You have an option, but the option is that you still have to work with your woman, and y'all still gotta. The best thing that you're gonna have to do is come together and figure out a plan with each other, because most men are not willing to actually have a plan. This is why majority of men they just allow the relationship just to happen. They say, so what are we? I don't know. I was just, and then it goes into, then they have a kiss. What you want to do now? Let's see where it goes. Like, so those are men that are not leaders. If you don't know where you want to go with your relationship, with your life, with your career, and so on and so forth, a leader is going to be somebody that's having those things figured out and continuously figuring those things out to how he get towards his outcome. And it is okay if you are not that man. It is women out there that's willing to do 50-50 in the sense of not just with the bill situation, but with life situations. When they say, hey, let's just do something together and we'll figure out as we go along. It is women out there that's willing to do that. And maybe you are that kind of man and you need to find that kind of woman and make sure she's okay with you not being a leader.
Shout out to Sir Tice. Shout out to Sir Tice on the Sharon side of the game. Salute to you. Good to see you, Sir Tice. Long time no see. Good to see you, family. Yo, Uncle Streamer said, if he not a good leader, why is she with him? A woman should never complain about male leadership. She don't even have to be with him, goofy-ish, right? And she don't. And that's a fact. And the man don't have to be with her either. That's just a fact. You don't have, like, listen, and that's what I'm trying to get into Hood Conservative's head, and I don't understand why he don't get it. The reason why I ain't tripping is because, like, at the end of the day, I don't have to be with her. If she ain't bringing goodness to my life, if she ain't enhancing my life, if she's not making my life better and willing to work with me, cooperate with me, I don't have to be with her. Period. Problem solved.
But Sharon even said it brilliantly. Most of the time, these men don't have a plan. That is the issue that they have with all these women. Because if you tell a woman, because a lot of men, they know what to say when it comes to getting into the bed with a woman. But when it actually comes to providing for said woman, when it actually comes to planning with said woman, because yes, the moment you take on a woman, you still have to plan with her. Even if you are the leader, there still has to be a plan in order. So either way, if you don't like the word partnership, because I see men in certain words they don't like, the same way they love to come for women.
Yeah, partnership is not because the truth is it can't be. You don't want to part Rogue. This is the thing, partner. Rogue, I'm sorry, partner. This is the thing about partnership, Rogue. You don't want a partnership. You think you do. See.
I'm not saying, okay, so let me
hold on, real quick.
Partnership real quick.
Okay, go ahead. Yes.
Because the Bible says that the two become one, right?
Right. That's not a partnership. Yes.
So if your left hand is moving, does that mean your right hand is always moving?
No, but the Bible also says don't let the right hand know what you're doing. So
that's fine. But then when you need to pick something up, what happens?
They may work together.
Okay, then. So that's the point I'm making. So if I am your right hand, if I am your helpmate, how can I be your helpmate if I don't know what the plan is or what I'm supposed to do if there is no partnership? And that is why I understand why certain words, and I guess maybe the way my brain works, when I look at partnership, I look at it as, okay, you can do stuff with just your left hand. That's perfectly fine. But when you need to lift heavy, you're going to need that right hand too.
But they're not right hand, your right hand, your left hand are not partners. They're not. They're two hands that work together on a body, right? And so hopefully you have some coordination and you have some equilibrium where you could work together and they could work together in tandem, but they're not partners, right? In the same way, a man and a woman in an ideal situation should not be partners. Yes. Does that man talk to his woman, give her the plan, lay down the plan? Does he even consult her and get her opinion or her thing? Shout out to my man, the angry man, chilling. What is it? Damn, 90, what is it? 50, 40 degrees out there? Shout out to AMG in the building, man. You got you got a bear fur on, son? Is that bear? Is that bear? Yo, shout out to my man, Angry Man in the building. Good to see you. But yo, so Rogue, this is the thing, right? It's not really a partnership, right? And y'all got to stop looking at it like that because you don't want a partner. You want a man that has a vision. You want a man that has a plan. You want a man that's going to be able to provide for you and protect you. And in order for him to do that, you cannot be his partner. The same way in business, there's no such thing as 50-50. At the very best, it's going to be 51-49. At the very best.
And Izzy,
you want to know the beautiful thing about a woman like Rogue C? That is totally fine because when that man does come, and trust me, they have, I don't have to lift a finger. But if that man does need the support, if he does need the cheerleading, if he also just needs a little woosah moment, that is where I put my chip in. So again, it's not a matter of, if you don't like the word partnership, I'll throw partnership out the way. But there is always going to be an influence of the woman with that man. And vice versa.
Sorry.
Go ahead, Sway. And
no, because I'm hearing
the truck at that AM.
I understand both sides of this perspective of what Rogue sees it. So I think at least Izzy is not necessarily combating what you're saying, the word of partnership. It is how the word has been conformed to be used in conversations or relationship. He's more combating the idea of 50-50. Partnership, the men would probably would prefer to say partner or whatever and not feel like they're talking about 50-50, because you can be a partner in a situation where it isn't 50-50. I mean, I'm pretty sure if you want to be partner of a firm when you're a lawyer, you have to buy in, and you're not a 50% shareholder. You just have stake in the game. And when you're using an analogy of the right hand, my left hand ain't me. It would be somebody else that I could also have that has stake in the game, or I can call to confide. It might be my dad or my best friend or something, whatever the case may be. But yeah, you could be my partner, but the idea that means you're 50-50 or we're equal, or you get just as final decision. Yeah, you can have a say, but the say is being, thought and delegated through me, and, decisions and stuff. If I delegate you to take care of the house, doesn't mean now you're the leader of the home and you could just boss me around in the house. Like, that's not what that means. And so I think, like, all in all, Izzy is more so, at least men in general, combating the 50-50 more so how partner's been convoluted to mean that, not necessarily you and what you're saying, Rogue, because I get what you mean. You
Right,
can't
but
use
partner is
that
50-50 in a relationship, just to be clear, Sway. Partnership is 50-50. It means equal say, and
I could
that
be
is
a partner with someone, Izzy, and I
no,
have
but in a
60%.
relationship, I got you,
I
but
know
in
what
a
I'm saying. That's
relationship,
how
it's
it's being
50-50.
convoluted to. That's what I said. For relationship conversations, it's being
Right.
convoluted to mean that if you're talking about relationships, but technically that's not true. You can't be in a partnership with someone where the percentages or the say whatever is off.
No, I got you, and that is exact in the world of business, right? But what I'm saying, and that's why if you heard me, I said, well, in business, it's no such thing as 50-50. At the very best, it could be 51-49. And that's what I'm trying to get her to understand, that when people say partnership and relationship, it connotates 50-50. But go ahead, Trucker, and then I'm let Angry Man get in here, and then we're gonna open it up. Go ahead, Truck. What are you saying?
So first off, y'all cook it. You know what I'm saying? Y'all cook it. Everything they said though was absolutely right. You feel me? Like I don't understand, where women think, when somebody say a partner or like we're not dumbing y'all down. Like I'm not the type of dude, and there's a lot of men that won't say it, but I like to communicate with my lady. You understand? Like, your word is valuable. It's really valuable, believe it or not. Especially when it comes to raising children together. Y'all trying to be successful together and things like that. Y'all trying to work together and things like that, man. So it doesn't make you any less like Iz said, like that 51 and you're 49, or you're 51 and 50. You might have a better idea, even though
It's no 51 and 50, Trucker.
Man, you should have just let that go, bro. 4th grade reading level. Leave him alone.
Leave Trucker alone, man. It's no 51-50, Trucker. Go ahead, you got it.
That makes sense.
I'm gonna get clown for it. Look at the Angry Man. Don't you do it? Don't you do it?
All right, just go ahead and pass the mic then.
I'm just listening. I'm listening to the soft simping that's going on, and it's amazing to me.
Oh no!
I'm just stating the fact. Like, yo, I'll give you an example, right?
You stating the fact that women. You're stating the fact that women play an important role in raising children in this day and age where the kids can't even read. That's what you're talking about. You're talking about this day and age where most of these kids don't even have fathers in their household because the women don't get along with the man, and she gonna put her happiness over the children's well-being. Is that what you're talking about?
I'm not talking about the single life. I'm talking about marriage. I'm talking about all. That's the part.
Exceptions. You talking about the exceptions today?
Okay.
Yes. He's talking about the exceptions. AM, but
absolutely not. We're not talking about.
Well, hold up. We are. Trucker is. Go ahead. Trucker's talking about the exceptions. Go AM. Go ahead. Let AM check it.
I'm AM cook, guy. Just let you know. I know I'm gonna get clowned, so go ahead. All right.
No, I'm not gonna clown you. I'm just gonna point out some facts. Number one, when a woman gets with a man, it's not a partnership.
Bars.
It's not a partnership.
The only reason why women nowadays push the partnership narrative is because it gives them more power than God ordained them to have. That's the only reason. That's the only reason. They're not your partner. They're your wife. They're an extension of you. They're supposed to be helping you. You're not supposed to be bowing down to nothing that they are saying, nothing that they are doing. This is the main reason why we are in the shape that we're in right now. And Sharon, you can shake your head as much as you want to. You're a feminist cuck. So I don't expect you to agree with what the Almighty ordained. I don't expect you to agree with it.
The level of disrespect.
There's one simple reason. There's one definitive reason above all that a woman is not your partner, especially not on the equal level. And the reason why is because you, as a man, if need be, will sacrifice your life so that her and the children can continue living on. Is she going to sacrifice her life for you? No.
Can I ask a question? Do we not sacrifice our life to give birth to the children?
No.
Wow, really? Y'all really don't?
No, that's not
Izzy,
sacrifice.
hold on. That is a sacrifice. You do realize that women that's one of the highest rates that women will be unalive?
Yes,
That
I
is a
understand.
sacrifice.
Captain, you
Wait, hold on real quick. Time out. One mic.
Pick your battles, Izzy.
One mic, yeah.
Name for me a woman
Nah.
you know.
That makes sense,
Name
bro.
for me a woman
No,
you know in
you
the
stepping
modern
right.
era that died from childbirth.
If you
Exactly.
took away, if you
Well,
took
Hold
away
on,
Mr.
Slay.
Anchorman,
bro.
there are
Hold on, Slay.
women
Hold on,
that
Slay.
do pass away from that still, because it's
What's
not
the
always a perfect
statistic?
science.
What's the
I
statistic?
don't know off the top of my head, but again,
I
it's
think
not
it's
a
less
perfect
than
science.
5%. It's less than 5%, if I'm
I
not
can look it
mistaken.
up, gentlemen, but it's still a risk.
It's
You
less
do realize.
than 5%. It's less
Okay.
than. Look, here's the thing. Okay,
Mhm.
I'm gonna give you that. Let's give her that.
Okay.
Let's give her the fact that when a woman knowingly gets pregnant by a man, she is possibly risking her life. I risk my life climbing on a damn ladder to clean out the gutters. I risk my life every time I climb under the car to change the damn oil. Men risk
Shit,
their
being a
life
black
every-
man in America
men,
is a risk.
men risk their lives every single day just being men.
Is that especially
I'm not taking that
indie men.
away from you, Mr. Angry Man. What I am saying though is I find myself in these conversations where a lot of men are putting women in the same place as children. And if that's where
No.
y'all want us, then cool. We'll be in the same place as the children.
No,
But
I don't know. No. I don't know. I'm not putting y'all in place of
No,
children.
here's the thing.
that's what I'm hearing though. Women are not allowed to have a
Here's the thing with
voice.
me.
Everything that a parent would say to a child, that's what I
Here's
hear
the
about
thing.
them doing.
Here's the thing with me. Let me clarify my position on that.
Clarify, nigga.
I'm one of the few men
Really?
that hold women to the account of being adults. It's usually the women that want to be treated like children. Because
What makes you say that, Am?
Because if I get into a discussion, if I have a back and forth with a woman on a panel, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna give her the same intensity that I give any of the fellas up here. I'm gonna expect you to understand what I'm saying the same way the fellas do. I'm gonna talk to you as a equal intellect, as someone who is an adult that can fully understand what I'm saying. The problem is, you know what the women will do? He's over talking me. I need help. Someone help me. And you'll look for the men to give you help. Or there's and I'm not talking about you, Rogue. I'm just talking about in general. Or
yes, sir.
There will be women that will say, well, y'all are supposed to take care of us. Y'all are supposed to do this. Y'all are supposed to do that. Women will say things that put them in the same boat as the children. The problem is women want the privileges that children get, but they want the power of an adult.
That's insane.
And I still don't think women are children, just for the record.
Hey,
I don't
if you
think
think
Anchorman does it.
Contested,
Thank you, Izzy.
Sharon.
Hold on real quick. Gasman said facts is what's up. Yo, what's up? Wild Marvelous said
children.
the dude is a whole weirdo. I don't think he was talking about nobody up here. That was before. Wild Pack, what's up? What's up, Wolfpack? Wolfpack said great day to you, Wolfpack. What's up, Big Ruck 77 said Corey said it best yesterday. I don't listen to women. Shut up, silly woman. Shout out to Gina 789. Y'all love some monster. What's up, John Gold? What's going on? All that shit you be talking, John Gold. What's up, Clever Creatrix in the building? Good to see you. My sister Clever is in here. Good to see Clever is in the building. Good to see you always. Family Business said he sold y'all gonna drop him off a fire station. He said y'all gonna drop him off at a fire station. What? What's up, Abby Wardy? Said peace is, peace in chat, peace in panel, peace Abby Wardy. Hey, melanated vessel. She said, how, if you lived in another state, were you really wealthy at this time? You don't have to be wealthy to pay for child support or to AM. When I was living in Atlanta, how many times out of a month did you see me in North Carolina when I was living in Atlanta?
I don't remember specifically.
Would you be surprised if it was like five times or 6 times out of a month that I would drive back and forth? If you heard that, would you be surprised at all?
No.
What's the one thing that people say about me in regards to my children?
You take care of your kids. You look out for your kids. You make sure they're straight.
What, even to the point, remember that time when we was in the mall, when I came from ATL and we went to the mall just to buy my daughter what?
It was something. It was, what was it, sneakers or something? What was
it? Some red Converse. You remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah. And been with me, like I came from Atlanta just to get my baby some red Converse because she needed some red Converse for something. And I came from Atlanta just to do it. So, I'm solidified.
But here's the thing: the men in our circle, that's what we do. The men in our circle, we don't. You remember how we used to throw the kids' birthday parties at my place?
Yeah,
like we have all the kids throw birthday parties and all that. That's what we do. Like, so I don't know what the question originally was, but can't nobody really question the integrity of Iz when it comes to him being a father and being a man to handle his business, because I've seen it with my own 2 eyes.
Right. But what I said was, even though, remember my uncle though, right? And I said, because Trucker had a dynamic situation going on. And I'm like, man, if that woman, what I know now, and even though I did it the right way, if a woman caused all kinds of hell in your life and is making it impossible for you to see them children, I say pay the child support and see that kid when they're 18. And I stand on that. Even though I didn't do that, even though I was there, but if I had it to do all over again, I would save myself a lot of money, heartache, and pain.
Shit. Yeah. If I had it to do all over again, that's what I would have did. I would have just paid the child support and went and lived my life.
Bars. I'm just telling you, I'm just telling you. And we are men that sacrifice for our children, and we're there for our children. Went through all kind of hell to be there with our children. But that shit is a thankless, loveless, a fruitless endeavor, seemingly. So it is what it is. I ain't crazy.
That sounds crazy to me.
It is what it is.
Regardless, if I had a chance to do it over again, I would stay with the mother. I would have figured that out.
I would never be with the mother. If I had to do it over again, my kids wouldn't have been born. I ain't gonna lie, I wouldn't be with that mother.
I ain't got no kids, bro.
Does your wife know this?
We know, Jay.
Does your wife know this?
Know what?
Because you know why?
Stay with the first mother.
My wife is right. Yes, she heard me say that. Yes.
It's you know why?
You know what she should do? She should do just like that old comic I used to read in the paper, Snuffy Smith, whatever. She used to take a pot upside your head.
Right.
Right, because then you wouldn't have her. Like, shit. Exactly. She's the best thing that ever happened to you, brother.
Exactly.
She's the best thing that ever happened to you, brother. Don't even do that, brother.
Now, you know what kills me about this, though? Like, all the dudes on this conversation, dudes who went through it, dudes who have fought for their kids, niggas building playgrounds in the backyards for kids they don't ever get to see. And then you got to hear, these men ain't doing enough. These men don't know how to do this. These men don't know how to do that. That's what I said earlier. Like, we need to stop acting like the men are the blame and the men got to somehow always be more perfect in order for things to work out. That is not the problem out here. It is not a lack of perfect men who don't try enough.
But that's not what we're saying. Okay, again, hold on real quick. Again, that's not what we're saying. It's not about that. The problem is when you sit there complaining and crying and bitching and moaning about women instead of getting with a woman that you want, or instead of just going your way and doing your thing. It don't matter what she doing. It don't matter how she getting down. We try our best to tell the women whatever. If they listen, they listen. If they don't, they don't. It's their loss. It's their loss. That's what I'm trying to get you to understand when I said what I said. If I had to do all over again and I happened to have the kids and she was putting me through that shit and turning my kids against me, like, it got to be F them kids till they turn 18. And if they still want to believe their mama narrative, that's on them. I'm not tripping over no kid or no woman.
I somewhat disagree. I kind of agree to a degree with Hood Conservative. I feel like if a woman puts you through hell, you have the right to talk shit about her ass for the rest of your natural life.
I think that's unproductive.
Yeah.
But it's not about hold on real quick. But it's not even about that. Sharon, I'm gonna let you get in. It's not even about that. It's about, what about moving forward and living your life and doing best for you? You know,
that's
when you
part of it.
No, it ain't, man. When you stuck there whining about a bitch, you cannot move forward. You know that,
that's
bro.
Part of it.
No, it ain't. Stop it.
Yeah, it is.
I'm lying to y'all. Now I'm gonna tell you straight up. When Angry Man left his baby mama and he found his new woman and he stopped thinking about his baby mama, his life was better, much better. You ain't sit there and argue with that woman no more, bro.
No, I'm not saying I'm gonna argue with her. I'm not saying I'm gonna argue with her, but I'm damn sure I'm gonna tell the gospel from the mountaintop. I'm gonna let everybody know what the hell I went through, so that the younger fellas can avoid that bullshit.
Right, but after a while, after you told your story, after a while, it's like, at the end of the day, it's over and done with. Why still keep living, rehashing and reliving shit that's old, dead, and stinking? Like you said, you don't even want to talk about the child support shit that you went through anymore.
Like I said,
hold on, Hood. I gotta let Sharon get in there. Go ahead, Sharon.
So yeah, so like this whole complaining mentality, this whole idea of that a woman needs a leader and all this is just not a true statement. Not every man is going to be able to lead. It is not built for everybody. Everybody cannot take the responsibility of the family going down. They can only take the responsibility of the family going up. It is a much more difficult position as a leader when things are not looking in the right direction. And you got to figure out a way to navigate it back into the proper outcome. And your woman going to have to trust you without giving you no extra stress upon those situations. So no, it is a possibility for men to be in a partnership 50-50 with decision making and finances, because most men do not have the ability. Most men do not have the ability to do more than 50-50 mentally financially. And I don't know why we act as if this is not a true statement, and it is a case. And we're going to be real with each other as men, then we need to just speak to each other as men. Some men are not built for no goddamn leadership.
Knock Sharon's ass out.
You ain't gotta put hands on. What's up,
goddamn rock I throw it at your head. Shut up.
Do you ever? Let me ask you a question, Sharon.
Hold on, AM, let me get in, AM, please. AM, please.
Hold on. Wait a minute.
Ruthless, you after Sharon. I mean, you after Angry Man, Ruthless.
Do you ever in your life?
You're like a pimp today, nigga.
Do you ever in your life do anything where you're not shitting on me?
Make yourself pretty, Tony.
Hold on, Ruthless. Control yourself.
No, I don't think so. Angry Man, I don't know if you were here. Sorry.
Wait, hold on, Sway. Let Sharon speak for herself. Hold on, Sway. Let Sharon speak for herself.
It'd be pertinent, Izzy.
Nah, let Sharon speak for herself, man. Let them do what they do. Go ahead, Sharon. You got it.
I don't think I'm talking bad about men, saying that it's some men that do not want to be leaders and they're not capable of being leaders, but they should still have a fruitful relationship. It is disingenuous. It's disingenuous to say that every man needs to be a leader in his household when we know it's not possible.
Okay, that's not true. Number one, the reason why today it's difficult for men to be leaders is because women have commandeered the term leader and put their own definition on it. And literally the definition of a leader to a woman is whether she likes the nigga or not. It ain't got shit to do with his ability. It ain't got nothing to do with his abilities as far as leadership, because half of y'all don't even know what the definition of leadership is. You every time I hear a definition, y'all act like these dudes are supposed to be. You act like every dude is supposed to be William Wallace. They're supposed to be leading a damn revolution or some shit. It does not take that much to be the leader of your household. That just means you're the head of the household. That's all that shit means. But see, the reason why women are doing this is because they are trying to find a way to avoid being submissive. So if they can say that you're not sufficient as a leader, that's their excuse for not being submissive to the man they're in a relationship with. Instead of just leaving him, saying, you know what? I don't like the way he's doing things. I'm gonna leave. No, what she'll do is say, oh, you're not a sufficient leader. So that means I need to leave.
So
Bars.
The thing is, it might be just a truthful statement. Just like if she used to walk in the house and you think that she's fat and you tell her to go to the gym, you need to be able to take the goddamn information that, hey, your ass ain't being a good leader and you not the leader of the house. You need to sit your little dumb ass down, go to work.
How many dudes?
And then when I tell you how to move, and then that's how we move. Some men are not capable.
How many dudes is
what is
telling
going on? Is everything okay?
Wait 1 second.
You okay?
How many dudes?
Are you okay? I was talking.
How many dudes? I'm responding to what you said.
But
I'm responding to what you said.
Wait, hold on. AM, let him get his thought out, and then
it's okay. Good.
All right. Well, you said it's okay. All right, go ahead, AM. You said it's okay, Sharon. I was trying to defend. You said it's okay. Go ahead, Sharon.
If you was about to give a "I have a dream" speech, just let me know. But
he was trying to give us "I have a dream" speech. You know that, AM.
We let you say your BS speech. Let me say
my
that.
shit is short and concise.
That's a lie.
You out here trying to give simp soliloquies, brother.
No way you could call me a simp. It's not even possible.
Simp soliloquy is hilarious. But you do, or Sharon, you do always make, like, at first we be on the same page and then you just veer way left. And I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. I'm not on that boat. Like, hell nah. Like, I ain't gonna lie.
And that's the difference. And that's the difference between a leadership and men that want to be partners, right? A leadership is going to be black and white. I don't have that gray area where I'm on the fence sometimes. No, I don't have that. I'm all the way to my outcome. So
yeah, because you're a house husband.
My outcome, I have to move a certain way, and so for me to move a certain way, it has to be in black and white. I cannot have no
Hold on.
I cannot have no enemies. Stop acting like an unruly woman, Ruthless.
So go ahead.
Yeah, and so the thing is that we have to have clear and concise things so men know what lane that they are in. Some men are not in the leadership of a relationship lane, and it is okay because it's a very difficult thing to actually lead your family in totality.
So by your logic, a woman telling a man that he's not a good leader is the equivalent of a man telling his fat wife she needs to lose weight.
Yeah,
it was just an example that came.
How many men do you know, Sharon, that's gonna tell their overweight wife that she needs to lose weight in the black community?
And that was the point. Majority of people are not having these. They're not saying that, right? And so I'm glad that you brought that up because that was the.
But hold on. Let me say this real quick before you jump in.
Sometimes you're actually pretty smart.
The reality, I'm always pretty smart. The reality is this. The reality is there are a large percentage of black women that have absolutely no problem with saying that black men are not good leaders and then extrapolating that into insults, into all types of shit. On average, you're not going to have black men telling black women who are overweight that they need to lose weight and then going into insults about it. You might have red pill guys that say that, but the average black dude is not saying that to the women.
Right. So the thing is that majority of men, especially black men, they like their women a little bit voluptuous like that in the first place. That's number one. Number two,
as an example.
If a man is not being a good leader, he should be able to take that information and figure out if he wants to be a better leader and figure out how he can navigate through that and become a better one. If he's with a woman that he actually loves and he feel like she got his best interest at heart. Now, if you're talking about just a woman just being mean-spirited towards him, and then that's a different conversation. But we are having a conversation about relationships that with people that want to be with each other.
So then why did you use that as an example? If you knew for a fact that most black men like their women thick and voluptuous, why did you use that as the example?
It was a conversation that would happen earlier, and you wasn't here for it. So
Oh, well, I wasn't here for
I
that
apologize for using that analogy when you wasn't here to understand it in full.
Okay, well, I wasn't here for that conversation, so I can't really feed into that. You used it when you were talking to me, though.
That's true.
For me, it seemed a bit illogical. And here's the thing, right? The problem with the entire premise of what you're saying when you use the example is that, one, we all know that black men like women that are a little bit thicker because black women, in honesty, carry their weight a little better. I'm not talking about nobody that's morbidly obese, but they carry their weight a little bit better than some other groups, right? We know this, right? At the same time, you're talking about a woman telling her man that he's not a good leader. And that right there is already problematic, because the only person that should be telling a man he's not a good leader is another man.
Bars.
That's crazy to me.
Bars. That's a fact. That's a fact.
Not crazy.
That's the only one that's qualified to do it.
No, it's not. So the reason why another man is not qualified to do it, because that man don't live in that household.
What?
And that man is not going to be honest when he's talking to whoever mentor that he is talking to.
Man, can I jump in, please?
Honest.
Wait, hold on, Sway. You down the line.
So a great leader of a country,
and then Bill was after you.
So a great leader.
Let me just finish it real quick. If he's being honest with his woman and they have an outcome that they are trying to achieve, and he lays it out, and he is not doing the right things according to the plan that he set forward, then yes, he is being a bad leader, and it is okay for his woman to say, hey, you are not doing this thing correctly. And we have the history to back up that you are not handling this thing correctly. So therefore, you are a bad leader. No man outside of the house is going to be able to say that.
If you leave the premise of who a good leader is to a woman that's in the relationship with the man that she's criticizing, that shit is subjective as hell, because it's going to be contingent upon whether or not. I'll give you a prime example. Let's say that a dude says to his wife, okay, you know what? We normally go on 3 vacations a year, but this year I got other things that I'm trying to do. So money's going to be a little tighter. We can't go on 3 vacations this year. Guess what? That woman, because she doesn't like the fact that they're not going to go on those 3 vacations, she could say that he's a poor leader. She could say that, well, if you would have managed your money differently last year, we'd be able to go on this. You cannot base a man's leadership on a woman's opinion, because women's opinions are fickle. They're like the damn wind. You understand? Right. So for you to even sit there and say that, Sharon, is ridiculous. And on top of that, well, he's not in that house. So basically what you're telling me is that a father does not have the ability to teach his son how to be a good husband and a good father because he doesn't live in their house. Based on your logic, a leader of a country that's a great leader cannot advise another leader of another country because he doesn't live in that damn country. You know how crazy you sound right now?
So when we talking about the conversation of him leading with this whole vacation situation, if she has a bunch of questions, because I know he's being vague and saying trying to do certain things. However, if he was a good leader and they having a genuine conversation with his wife, they having a sit down and they having a conversation about what they're going to do with the future of that year, he's going to be able to explain what is it that he is attempting to do and how he's trying to execute those things. And as the year go along, if he's not moving in the direction of those things for those outcomes, she can clearly say he's a bad leader. Now, if she just says he's a bad leader without no rhyme or reason, that is a different argument. We're not talking about just women are being figured. We're talking about your woman, right? So when we're talking about a relationship, we're not talking about a whole bunch of different women. We're talking about the woman that you lay down with on a day-to-day basis, somebody that you've been rocking with, if you've been leading her properly for many of years, and you have a history behind what you've been doing, no woman in her good right mind is going to just call you a bad leader all of a sudden.
Most women ain't in their good right mind. What the hell are you talking
Right,
about?
that might be true, but your woman is in her good right mind. That's why you chose that woman. That's why
Hold
you
on.
live with that
Come
woman.
on, man.
That's
Stop
why you
it.
could close your eyes and go to sleep and know that she
Sharon.
ain't
Lost your mind, bro.
Okay, hold on, man. Hold on, Sharon.
What's going
Because
on?
I gotta pass it because this is getting circular. I gotta pass it to
This
Ruthless.
is a good conversation, I thought.
I get, but it's getting circular because they got other people waiting to get in here. BMU came in the building. Shout out to BMU. I gotta let my man Ruthless get in there, and then Sway, and then BMU, and then we'll open it up. But it's getting real circular. And thank you to KP
What
for
about me?
KC5. Yeah, Jake. Give me a second, Jay.
So,
You get in there.
Okay.
So this is the problem when you negotiate. When niggas start negotiating, then the lines get twisted and screwed, and she takes advantage. So you have to stand on principle at all times. You cannot let your guards down. And when we start trying to acquiesce and please, and I guess find a way to try to make this work to please her, then it becomes a roller coaster, because we know that any woman is led by her emotions. She invests a lot in them. So this is why it's best to keep the leadership position as one boss, and then everybody else fall under the line. Now, I'm not saying a woman can't bring something to the table and we discuss it, as long as she understands that I'm the last one to make the call, and we have to do this because she's the weaker vessel. That's one. Two, she's emotionally unstable, and it's okay, right? This is why I'm here for. I'm here to create the balance of the rock of the relationship. The man is the rock of the relationship, and she is the pillow. So, and this is how it is only way it can work. And the reason why women are leaving at the rate they're leaving, because most men have to back down. They have to happy wife it, happy life it, and she just gets bored and she climbs out the back window.
Man, I'm sorry that I made y'all listen to that. Yo, what the hell, man? Why you keep going with this happy wife, happy life shit? Yo, go ahead, Sway. What say you, man? Damn.
I knew that was gonna happen, bro.
I know, but I gotta try to be fair. Can I at least try to be fair? I'll be trying.
I get you. I understand.
Shorty said, wait a minute. Shorty said,
What's
black
Shorty?
men, it is almost 2026 and you niggas wasted your whole effing year. And you almost 40 and you wasted your entire box. What's your
who
point?
said that? What are we talking about? Who said that? I don't even see what you're talking about. But anyway, go ahead, Sway. My fault. I don't see what you're talking about, Angry Man.
It's somebody in the chat. Don't worry.
All right, if they didn't pay, please if they ain't paid, let's don't pay them no attention. They ain't talking about nothing. All right, go ahead, Sway. You got it. My bad.
No, I was just trying to point out earlier. Sharon is mainly what he's speaking to is what I was asking earlier. Is I think you weren't here, Angry Man, when I asked. I actually have two questions. But first, let me ask you the first question. Would you accept the premise that there are men that either don't want to be leaders or don't have the capacity to be a functional leader?
There are men that can't be leaders because of the simple fact that they have the same goofy definition of leadership that the women are pushing right now.
Well, I'm not speaking to that. I'm not even speaking necessarily to the black community. I'm just speaking as men as a whole, in general. If we can speak about whatever definition we as men subscribe to is leadership. I know there are men, at least I'm asking you, do you accept the premise that there are men that either don't want to be that whatever we subscribe to as a leader, or don't have the capacity to be a functional? I'm not even saying they have to be a great leader, but just a functional one, not one that's going to put your family in a compromising position consistently if I was to put you in that role.
No,
you know what I mean?
I reject the entire premise of your question because your question leaves out pertinent context. You're trying to set up a straw man.
I'm not. I'm asking you, would you accept the premise that they exist or don't exist? And then I can ask you my second question.
Okay, so
I'm not
yeah,
even coming as
they
disingenuously.
exist. Yeah, go ahead.
So what my question was earlier is that because I'm thinking about it, when I thought about it, I was thinking about it in real life in like the workplace. Like there are a lot of guys that don't want to take the leadership role in a workplace for whatever reason, stress, capability, responsibility. Like they just don't want to do it, or they can't do it for whatever reason. And so I'm thinking about that in a relationship. If does a man have to be a leader in a relationship for it to be a functional, progressive, if not respectful relationship, or can he defer to say, no, I don't want to be a leader in this,
No, he
or
has
I
to.
recognize that I can't be, but he still wants a woman?
No, he has to be a leader because that is the natural order of things. When the dodo bird didn't want to learn how to fly so he could escape predators, his ass died off. You're literally looking right now at, see, this is the funny thing about this. As much as Sharon's sitting there shaking his head, would you say that relationships in 2025 are in a good place?
No,
they're not, right? So part of the reason they're not is because you have, and this is the reason why I rejected the premise of your question, because it leaves out important context. One piece of important context is, in order to be a man, you got to see a man. You have a whole generation of young boys that grew up without male leadership. So it's not that they can't be leaders. It's not that they're not capable of being leaders. They have not learned to be leaders by watching other men be leaders.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I wasn't necessarily speaking to them. I'm just saying, speaking to people that literally just don't want to do it because they just realize, like, I don't want to do that, or they mentally don't have the capacity to do it without putting their family in compromised positions consistently, or to be able to problem solve efficiently.
Because that's part of it. What I just got through saying is part of it.
No, I'm saying, I'm not speaking like, let's say generally, I'm saying in the time, we can pick any time frame that you want to pick, where generally speaking, most men could meet the capabilities, we would say bare minimum leadership capacity. But there's also always men that can't. And I get it, most men probably haven't been able to procreate, and that probably answers my question. But I just asked again, is that right in a sense, or you know what I mean?
Okay,
like,
so
do they have to be a leader? Because I know they can opt out of it in the workplace, but it seems like they can't opt out of it in a home and still be respected or have a fruitful situation.
So check this out, Sway. I'm gonna try to explain this in a way where we're not constantly disagreeing, right? So the reason why I have a problem with the premise of the question and the concept of the question is because you're talking about male leadership as if it's a choice. And so that's what's frustrating me about the conversation.
I am speaking about it that it's a choice.
Okay,
that's what I'm asking you. Is
right.
it a choice? Can you have that choice as a man in it to be able to have a fruitful relationship with a woman, or is there no choice and you have to be a leader? And that's you could say you have to be, and I accept that. And Sharon said no, you don't. So that's where mostly he was responding to.
Okay,
that's why I said how we got here.
Okay, so y'all, the thing about it, I'm listening to everything y'all saying, but y'all not listening to what I'm saying. What I'm saying to you is the men of today, because of the way the culture is, because of the way they've been raised, because of the way society socialized them, they believe that male leadership is a choice. Male leadership has never been a choice. It has always been a responsibility. And because it's a responsibility, it's something that you do even if you didn't want to do it. There are numerous things that men have always had to do that was their responsibility. They may not want to do it, but they have to step up and do it. It's kind of like when a man has children. There are men out here right now that think raising and taking care of their children is a choice. It's not a choice. It's a responsibility. And if you shirk that responsibility, there's going to be negative ramifications. There's going to be negative effects of it. The same way, if you have men, if you have an entire generation of men that believe that responsibility is a choice, you end up with guys that do not participate in the societal norm of getting married, having children, raising them so that they can grow up to be responsible adults just like they did and repeat the process. So yeah, there's a lot of guys out here right now that think that it's a choice, and that's part of the problem.
Bars.
I understand your point of you disagreeing with the premise, and I accept your answer.
I no doubt. Yo, shout out to my man BMU. Let me read BMU. Thank you very much, BMU, for supporting the show. Y'all be like BMU and support the show, support the stream. You know what I mean? BMU said the reason so many quote unquote men have quote unquote quantity is because they can't find quote unquote quality. He who finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor. Thank you, BMU. Thank you, Unc B Streaming. Unc B Streaming said, you could tell.
Let me get in there after you.
Wait, hold on. BMU is next, real quick. Give me a second, and then we gotta pass it. I'm gonna pass it to Nightish, and then to you, Hood. You got it. Unc B Streaming said, and then Jalen. I gotta let Jalen get in here for a second too. And Unc B Streaming said, $4.99. You could tell that people don't understand leadership because they think it means the leader does everything. Leaders delegate. Shout out to that. Uncle B Streaming also said, thank you for $2. Birth is a risk, not a sacrifice. Words have meaning. Yo, thank you to my man KP for KC5. Thank you very much. He said, arguing with enigmas that sit to pee is an exercise in futility. Too many indie males view manhood through the eyes of their mothers. Yo, shout out to you. Thank you, KP, for KC5. I appreciate those profound words. BMU, what's up, my brother? You there? Did I give you that warm, wonderful reception and you're not even there to receive it, my brother? All right. Let me pass the mic to my man.
I was muted, my bad, dog. I was muted, man.
BMU, what's up, my guy? What's good with you? Long time no hang out, brother.
What's going on with you? What's going on with you, man? Hey, listen, man. I first of all, giving on it to you as the host of the show tonight. Angry Man's in the building. Sharon, what's going on? Nightish, what's going on, man? Everybody else. I just want, I was listening, and I just want to say that you should have a sponsor, Izzy. We should bring back Dare, because that's a lot of I feel as if there's a lot of drug use going on in some of these conversations. However, I will say that the reason that the world is upside down today, Izzy, is because women are leaders. And in most cases, Sharon said that, women can lead, or a woman can go tell a man in a household that he's pretty much not shit.
Damn.
But then I look at it, Izzy, because I know Sharon is not, he said in the past that the Bible is not one of his go-tos. And so I can't force him to believe anything that I believe. However, biblically, it states that a woman is supposed to help a man, not be the man. And so, right. For that being said, if a woman says her man ain't shit, then that says that she ain't shit either, because that means the company dies because you're not helping. So if you're not helping your man, you cannot antagonize your man that he ain't shit because you're not shit either, because you're supposed to be his help. And if you chose an ain't shit nigga, then that means that you have ain't shit pussy and you ain't shit either. And so and you found quality in ain't shit niggas. And so I think that's your responsibility if you have done that. What else? I heard Sharon say something else that was it was like one of those Dare commercials we needed to yeah.
Wait, are you saying that he smoked crack? Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. I said that it's crack related.
Okay.
What's up, Sharon? I'm fucking with him. But no.
BMU, hold on. I'm gonna give you, because I didn't give you the warning. All right, so you already spent 5. Okay. So there's a F word bounty. So I'm giving you the warning now. But you already sent me 5, so you good. So it's $5 per occurrence. You already sent me 5, so you good. So just the F1 bounty.
No, but to be honest, man, just to say this, and I'm gonna land my plane. Like, for Sharon, I just wanted Sharon to elaborate on. I just don't believe that women can be leaders, and I believe that women try to be. Living out here in Dallas, you see that a lot. A lot of women are at QT trying to figure out how to put the air, use the air pump for their tires. They're trying to figure out how to put tires on their car. There's several women at my job who have been, they're very masculine in nature and their voice and where they move and the positions they in. But as soon as the alarm goes off, or as soon as there's something active, they're screaming and running for the exits. So there's not, these women cannot, they're not leaders. I believe that any woman who's in a house with a man who calls a man any name and somebody busts through the door, I don't see 90% of women running to the door stopping the gunman. And so for that reason, we can't have it. Can you imagine Kamala Harris being president right now? What would the world look like? What would the United States look like if she was president right now? It'd be it'll be the Super Sissy Association. It'll be the Softies of America. It'll be so many different things that we would see rather than what we see now. So that's, I'll just land my plane there. But I did want Sharon to elaborate on how he feels a woman can really be a leader over a man when she can't match his strength. She can't match his speed. She can't match the internal thing that God gives a man just to be a man. And I just want to understand, how can you match that, if he can elaborate?
Okay, go ahead. Nadish, if you would, let Sharon answer to that. And then Nadish, you're after Sharon. Go ahead.
So leadership in the household has nothing to do with all those attributes that you said. Leadership is got to do with your characteristics, how you can foresee things, your integrity, to problem solve. Being a leader is more mental than physical. So this idea that a woman is not capable of leading a man is insane, especially if the man do not want to be a leader. So if the man is willing to allow his woman who is better suited for the position to lead them in whatever that is, then that is the best situation for the family. And it is women out there that absolutely can do that. Majority of men do not want to be leading in their relationship. Majority of men just want to get on to get on. They want to go to work. Women go to work. They come home, get a beer, watch some TV, have sex, and that is it. They don't want to lead anything. And the men that are leading in the sense of what BMU is saying, that wife can tell a religious man that he ain't doing the thing right because that man is supposed to be following God. So again, that man has a plan. And that plan, she could look in the book and say, hey, babe, this is what you're supposed to be doing. And then he could read it with her and say, this is XYZ. And they could go through the scriptures and figure out if he's doing it correctly or not. So again, if you are a man that is a leader, you need a plan. For that religious reason, God is the plan. And for other men that are not religious, you need to have your outcome as the plan. You might stray from it left or right, up and down. Things happen in life. However, that outcome that y'all both agreed on searching, you should be leading towards that. If you're not going towards that outcome, you are going in the opposite direction, and that is a bad leader.
Yo, you lied. You ain't concise. Go ahead, Angry Man, real quick, and then Nines, you got it in there. Go ahead, AM.
So BMU gave a hint in what he said when I was talking about women don't even know the definition of leadership. Because the reality is your leadership isn't tested when shit is going right.
Bars.
It's tested when shit goes wrong. And for most of us, we live fairly normal lives where we require somebody to step up and lead everybody in all of those different situations, right? So when you're talking about regular leadership in the household, like I said before, you're just talking about a man being the head of the household. You're just talking about a man making decisions. You're talking about a man having the final word on how the household is ran and stuff like that. You're conflating that with the type of leadership where if there was some catastrophic event and one man rose above the rest to lead everybody to safety or lead everybody, you're conflating those two things, bro. And here's the reality, right? You know how you know for a fact that women are not natural leaders? Because if we were to say right now, we're gonna present some legislation that will force women to have to volunteer for services in the armed forces, they're gonna protest that shit till they dying day. They're gonna fight that shit tooth and nail. They're not gonna want to have to volunteer for selective services to go to war for this country. Meanwhile, you have men that willingly volunteer for that shit. Willingly. Women are not built for leadership. What you're seeing with women who have fallen into the role of leading their household is pseudo leadership. And that's part of the reason why when you look at single mothers, especially 90% of children raised in those households end up in some form of dysfunction. They go to jail. They sometimes they're on drugs. Sometimes they're runaways, all of that shit. You think I'm lying, Sharon? Go look it up.
Yo,
Think I'm lying? Go look it up.
All right, let me, hold on. Yeah, hold on. Yeah, 90ish is next. Then let me let Jalen get in there. You can get in there after Jalen.
But hey, before you say that, Izzy, here's the funny thing. Did you notice just now when I challenged the concept of women being leaders, he lost his damn mind? Did you see that?
Of course, that's his knee-jerk reaction. We already know what it is.
Men who are natural leaders, you know, today these men can't be leaders, but the moment I challenged a woman's ability to lead, you over there having all kinds of conniptions and shit.
Of course. Let me let my man Nigel get in. Nigel, what's up, man? How you doing? What say you, good brother? How you doing?
Shout out to you, Izzy. I want to wipe my feet off at the door and shout out to this is a power panel. What I want to say, you know, shout out to Sharon Bracey, shout out to Angry Man, shout out to Hood Conservative, shout out to Sway Producing, shout out to Truckee L, shout out to Black Man Unfiltered.
Jalen, don't forget Jalen too. Jalen is Jay on the phone. Jalen's here too.
I don't know who he is.
That's Jalen. That's my man, partner. Whoa, partner. This is Jay.
Wait, whoa, partner, whoa.
Yeah, that picture looked like Benny the Butcher. I thought that was Benny the Butcher in here.
Nah, that's Jalen, man. That's Jalen. Jay Kelly. Go ahead.
When I listen
to Diddy, bro.
He said he was Diddy?
No, he's not. He said no Diddy, bro. No Diddy,
bro. Okay. Listen, let me say this. I listen to a lot of women talk, and a lot of them women say they don't want to be the leaders. They want the men to step into their leadership role. I'm listening to what the women say. And I like how Angry Man said what he just said. Listen, when they talk about being protectors and providers, sometime when you protecting, you have to protect that woman from herself and the ideas that she have, because listen, we've always heard the same thing. You're supposed to live below your means. You're supposed to be preparing for the future. So we can't go to all them dinner dates. We can't go to all them vacations. We got to save money and do all the things we already know. We supposed to be preparing for a rainy day. What a New Edition say? Can you stand the rain? Can you stand the rain? Can you anticipate the problems that could potentially happen and set ourselves up for them rainy days? And the way you do that is by being a little less into extravagance, a little less into, because when I'm listening to the ladies, they keep talking about, you know, why we can't go to dinner every day, why we can't go on vacations every week, and because we can't afford it. And especially we're in this time right now, they talking about automation is going to take jobs away. So it's going to be less opportunities for you to make money. So if it's about money, let's keep it about money and make strategic decisions so that we can always be prepared for the rain.
But Nightish, if you live a frugal lifestyle and you're a man that lives below your means and you're not able to do all of that extravagant shit and you're not able to go on all of those vacations, the women of today will say you're not a good leader.
That's BS.
Go ahead and tell me it's a lie, Sharon. Go ahead and tell me it's a lie, bro.
And I'll tell you the reason why it's a lie is because you can find a homebody woman that is willing to do all the things that you need. So again, if you have the proper leadership skills and you explain it to the woman, this is our outcome. This is the goal we are trying to achieve. And that woman is into you. She is going to follow that plan. But majority of men do not have a plan.
Which culture you talking about?
Any man and woman, American culture. In America, If a man has a plan and he's able to explain and express that plan to the woman that he says that he loves, she is going to follow it. She has a decision to make. And once she makes that decision to follow it, and long as he is going towards that outcome, she is going to be with
this is American culture right here. Sugar Bub said, not me, I'm outside. She's not in my chat, but she said, not me, I'm outside. Shout out to Sugar Bub.
Exactly.
Well, you had a woman come right on the panel, say flat out at the beginning of the show, they don't need you. How are you a leader to women who don't need you, bro? It's a weird thing. Like women want to be the leaders and all that, but here's the secret: male leadership is cheap and free. Female leadership is always a government project that requires millions of dollars in corporate sponsorship. It's fake. It's an illusion.
So the thing is that you only need your woman to follow you. You'll need all the women to. And let me just say,
his woman is part of all the women.
No, they're not.
Let me just that goofy shit. Hold on,
Let me just read one cash app and then you got it. Let me just read this real quick. I just want to read this and you got it. For I vacation, find dine, save, and get some real money, ninjas.
You see what I mean?
See, that's that bullshit. Hey, yo, who want to pay to get Sharon up out of here, man? That's that bullshit. Hold on. Somebody do something to make me feel better.
Yeah, what up, boss? Do something to make me feel better. I thought you'd never ask.
What you gonna do, man? What you gonna do to make you feel better?
That's messed up, man.
Check this out, bro.
If you don't want me, in, I'm messing
you
up. You
good, man? Come on, man. Stop being sensitive. You good? I was playing. Bob, I was playing with you, but go ahead, Angry Man. Come on,
check this out.
Like, who plays like that?
Right now, as we speak, he's running because he knows I'm about to
cry, baby.
Cook his ass. That's why he ran, because he already know. Right now, as we speak,